So, hello everyone. Welcome to Ekam Academy and welcome to the session of Down to Earth. As we have promised, we are delivering like every Sunday. We would be coming up live on basis of Down to Earth, Yojana, Kurukshetra, which are considered as few of the important magazines. We are going to try to make you understand what is present in that particular insider articles so that you won't waste your much time or invest your time. We are investing the time and we are preparing the precise summarized content, and we are coming with that particular content as such. Clear? So this is attached with the Down to Earth magazine of the month May. So in the month of May, every month we have two magazines of Down to Earth which would be released. And in this particular month of May, some different thing regarding with this particular article has come. So it is not directly related with some environment or geography or agriculture related component or global warming or climate change, because down to earth में जब भी हम पढ़ते हैं we generally tend to learn about environment, agriculture, geography, cyclone, climate, है ना. लास्ट टाइम हमने जो पढ़ा था the hot is making too hot, तो ऐसे आर्टिकल्स आने का चांसेस है. बट दिस टाइम देयर इज समथिंग डिफरेंट which even tested my mind when I was preparing this particular precise content. Yes, to understand certain components like pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth. So we have come into picture. Generally यहाँ पे ज़्यादा UPSC में focus नहीं है. Here what I suggest is, from this particular article you won't get questions in prelims. So this article which is there, it is completely zero for your preliminary examination. So prelims consideration mein, this particular article, the article name is The Science Present Behind the Sins. So the article attaches with the science present behind the sins. Okay, so in this they have given conversations on pride, greed, lust, what different economists, researchers, anthropologists, psychologists, sociologists have the notion on these particular words. Like pride kya hota hai? So we feel pride when RCB wins. So we feel pride when we crack UPSC. We feel pride when we are given up some medal. So there are different methodologies to understand this particular pride like segment, you know. So on that basis, different psychologists, different sociologists, anthropologists, what they have did is they have given their viewpoint which might help you in changing your personalities. Clear? Changing your personalities. So personality change is one of the important aspect which is necessary for UPSC. तो prelims में कुछ काम का नहीं है. This article is not necessary for preliminary examination which UPSC conducts, but change in personality, mains answer rating में your opinion जो है उसके बारे में, that would be changed a lot in GS paper 1, 2, 3, exclusively in GS paper 4. So they might ask you a question. What do you understand by term greed? So is greed should be a character which makes him successful, or should greed be an emotion which makes him a perfect human being in the society? तो ऐसा कुछ questions GS paper 4 में. So this particular aspect can help you in GS paper 4. Are you getting this? तो mains में opinion based and changing your personality and GS paper 4 ethics का जो पेपर है and essay में जो opinion based आप लिखेंगे, इसमें ये सारे चीज आने का काम आने का चांसेस है. Pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, sloth. So make sure that you have just an idea regarding with it. No fact is important here. Just here I am presenting you an idea with few examples which I have faced in my life, and also a few examples which have been given in that particular down to earth. Apart from that, nothing much is required for you to read in this particular segment. Okay, so moving further into this particular discussion. So introduction mein, as I have said, these are the key words which you have to know, and those particular keywords include pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth. So generally these emotions which are there, चाहे वो भले प्राइड हो या ग्रीड हो, लस्ट, एनवी, ग्लूटनी, wrath एंड स्लॉथ, रिलीजियंस जो हमें सिखाते हैं, चाहे वो जो भी रिलीजन है, लेट इट बी हिंदुइज्म, सिखिज्म, जैनिज्म or Islam or Christianity, these religions have whipped these emotions as deadly sins. So in any religion, if you see, these particular components are considered as deadly sins. So to have a perfect humankind path, religions expect that you never carry these kind of emotions. And this is the religion point of view regarding with these particular terminologies like greed, pride, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath. But we also have science view which completely overshades this statement of religion, that these words typically not every time might be negative in the society. So science or sociologist view or anthropologist view regarding with these particular deadly sins considered by religion are negotiated through science. So as you know, for any component, this particular entity comes into picture, science versus religion. ठीक है, तो दोनों में कौन सा आप मान सकते हैं, डिपेंड्स फ्रॉम इंडिविजुअल टू इंडिविजुअल पर्सपेक्टिवनेस. बट वेयर द साइंस एंड्स, जितना तक मुझे पता है, आई एम नॉट रिगरेंट फॉलोअर ऑफ रिलीजन, बट जितना तक मुझे पता है, wherever the science and religion starts giving you the answer, not religion completely, the religious text और जो भगवान हम मानते हैं, clear, so it has answers regarding with many where science could not deliberately give the answer. So इसीलिए हमारा हिंदुइज्म फिलोसफी में अगर आप देखेंगे, there are many answers to the questions which science could not have given the answer. So ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि like completely you have to believe the religion and which religion to follow. See, every religion is same, but the religious interpretation which is there, that is what we have to manage it with our science implications. Clear? For example, temple architectures which were constructed, they have constructed on the basis of science. You have science inbuilt in it. Like if you could see temple architectures whichever they would construct, उसमें जो पिलर है एंड क्लोज्ड कंपोनेंट्स जो मैक्सिमम क्लोज्ड मिलेंगे, इफ यू सी द वॉल्स और इफ यू सी द मेन सैंक्टम, द रीजन बिहाइंड इट इज, ये जो हम लाइक मंदिर में जाते ही द साउंड्स जो श्लोकास हम बोलेंगे, है ना, or else the sounds which we do with that particular ringing bell, generally they will create an echo sound in the temple, and this echo sound which occurs in the temple, that's the reason why temple mein jo mantras chant karte hain, so they will take the resemblance of the echo sounding nature. So when we enter into the temple, those particular echo sounding nature generally tends to hit our brain and tries to make our brain physical body to be active. That's why generally in our ancient times or during our childhood days, our grandparents used to take us to temples or masjid or to the church early in the morning just before we go to the school or have breakfast. That's the reason why in rural settlement pattern you can see this particular picture. So religion has 100% science involvement in it. 100%, no doubt at all. So the religious festivals, so festivals related with the different religions which are there, they have science behind it. They have 100% science behind it. And science which is there, that has been extracted from the religious text. So both these particular terminologies called as religion and science, they are interdependent on each other. Interdependent on each other. They are interdependent on each other. So wherever you are reading anything regarding with the religious logic and science logic, don't write anything in your answers in UPSC focusing upon one biased point, like completely writing in a favoritism context regarding with the religion, or writing something completely in favoritism with science is not appreciated, not appreciated as such. But taking religion into consideration, science into consideration, so we can come up with the best ideological perspective. So whenever these particular two terms or debates come into picture, 100% try to participate it. So here, when we come to these particular so-called considered sins, pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth, these, according to the religions, they are considered as deadly sins, as sentiments that must be shunned, lest one strays from the right path. It means what religion generally suggests is if you go into the path of pride, greed, lust, envy, gluttony, wrath, and sloth, they are not going to make you to follow a right path directional way. But what does science says, however, does not look at them as an outright negatives. Clear? So it treats them as complicated ideas that have played a crucial role in human evolutionary process, even made them what they are. So what does science says? They are not completely negative in nature, but they have become a part of the evolutionary process where these complicated ideas come into picture. For example, greed, earlier greed नहीं था, है ना? तो फॉर एग्जाम्पल अर्लियर इफ वी यूज्ड टू डू एग्रीकल्चर, तो एग्रीकल्चर हम रीजनेबली करते थे जो हमारा सस्टेनेंस के लिए होता था. बट आजकल जो भी एग्रीकल्चर हो रहा है वो ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ हायर प्रोडक्टिविटी टू सेल इन द मार्केट टू गेन द प्रॉफिट. मतलब ग्रीड इन दिस पर्टिकुलर कंटेक्स्ट ऑफ, अगर आप फार्मर देखेंगे, so farmer is trying to get the profit so that he can make his family sustainable and give them a better standard of living. So here you can't calculate the greed as a deadly sin. So that's why science क्या बोल रही है? It's a complicated idea that have played a crucial role in human evolutionary processes, even made them what they are in the present context where we are, what we are, है ना? So for example, lust का देखेंगे. So lust is a component of love, है ना? So extreme लव लस्ट होता है, एंड बॉलीवुड में बहुत सारे ऐसे मूवीज है जो लस्ट के बारे में अलग अलग डेफिनेशंस देंगे. बट व्हाट आई फील इज दिस पर्टिकुलर लस्ट ऑन सिंगल पर्सन, clear, towards one particular person, one individual, so is component of love. But seeing that as a deadly sin in the format of religion is not that great. And if you see, coming to the gluttony, consuming and having love more towards this particular food, say for example if you are a wrestler, है ना, तो आपको ज्यादा खाना पड़ता है, ज्यादा दूध पीना पड़ता है, so amount of food which you intake, तो that would be more. तो इसको जो religion sin मानेगा, but science is not treating it as sin. It is treating it as a necessity in the present generation. So what religion says is, according to the religious text, they are sins, but according to the science, they have been a complicated idea which have contributed to the human evolutionary process and made humans what they are in the present context. Are you getting this point? So thank you, Jain. Thanks a lot. So we would be trying to give more better and better for you. So we know the value of time, and we are trying to give that particular value to the time which is appreciated in UPSC. Clear? So let's see certain keywords. इसमें मैंने pride, greed and lust के बारे में तो cover किया, है ना? बाकी कवर करने की जरूरत नहीं. इफ यू जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड द डेफिनेशन दैट वुड बी ग्रेट. बट आगे देखेंगे व्हाट इट इज एक्चुअली. तो स्टार्ट करते हैं प्राइड के बारे में. सो वी विल स्टार्ट अप विथ प्राइड. And different anthropologists, sociologists, economists, psychologists have given their particular views. And in this particular context, Jessica L. Tracy. See, no need to remember this particular name or write this name even when you write some definitions which Jessica L. Tracy has quoted. But as I have to give credit to that particular individual, so मैंने यहाँ पे I have took that particular name. Otherwise, in UPSC, whenever you write these particular statements, there is no necessity that you have to remember them. Clear? So pride, आरसीबी हार गया तो मैं प्राइड नहीं था. इफ सनराइजर्स हैदराबाद विन द कप टुडे, सो आई विल बी प्राइड. इंडिया, इफ आई माइट हैव वन द वर्ल्ड कप, आई माइट हैव बीन प्राइड. If I crack UPSC, I might have been pride. So pride can be on two bases, either on the individual component, or if we are connected with someone, so taking part of their particular success where we have a closer connection. For example, if my friend cracks UPSC civil services, so I will have that particular prideness. Clear? But it has some negative shades and positive shades, which the sociologist and psychiatrist had a different view. Let's see what it is. So pride evolved into humans to help them navigate through their hierarchy and improve status. ये याद रख लो. Clear? Generally, that pride has come into picture in this particular hierarchy, where they have helped them navigate through the entire hierarchy level to attain their particular improved status. So pride का मतलब basic definition which I have took from internet. So मैंने just Google में type किया. Clear? So I have typed in Google. So उस Google में मुझे ये definition मिला. If you type the pride meaning, you will also get the same definition. See, ये मैं कुछ वेदा टेक्स्ट से नहीं निकाला, just Google से definition लिया. Pride is a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction. So if you have to write the definition of pride anywhere in ethics papers, what you are going to write? So pride is a sense of feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievement. वो जो मैं अभी बोल रहा था, if I become an IAS, so that is a feeling of deeper pleasure or satisfaction. So either on the basis of individual achievements or self achievements, or others achievements where we are closer. For example, I feel pride when my students crack UPSC. Last time one of my student, she has cracked all India rank 3, Ananya Reddy. So I felt pride. Clear? Because I was part in her particular journey, so I was feeling pride. So either on our achievement or achievement of those with whom one is closely associated, है ना? It gives a deep pleasure. Now, pride and ego doesn't have the same definition. They do have different definitions, but pride, when it is used in a negative sense in the society, it might give you the aspect of ego. Are you getting this, Jayant? So achievements of those whom one is closely associated with it, or from qualities of possessions that are widely admired. So through that particular component, we will have that feeling of pride. Are you getting this point? People who are live, if you are facing any doubts, please do drop in the live chat session. तो मैं orally वो doubt आपको समझा दूंगा. But if you watch this particular video later on, please do drop in the comment section. So I'll be getting back to those particular comments as such. Okay. So simply, pride is an emotion that provides the foundation for our social hierarchy. So in our social hierarchy, जो हमारा societal hierarchical level है, class based system, है ना? In that particular social hierarchy, if you could see, this pride would be an emotion which would act as foundation for our social hierarchy. For example, when we feel pride because of our success, we think we deserve a higher status. So अगर आप मान लेते कि like all India rank 1 आए UPSC civil services में, so we feel pride because of our success, hence we think we deserve a higher status. तो obviously automatically वो attract होगा. So then आपका जो dressing style है ना, आपका वॉकिंग स्टाइल है, खाने का स्टाइल है, एंड कार्स इन विच यू जनरली रोम, all these things would be changed. Clear? So that's why pride is an emotion that provides the foundation for this particular social hierarchy, where we expect We think that we deserve a higher status, but once we feel pride of our success, so expecting this particular higher status is good or bad? That is the question of discussion which we have. So people who are live, can anyone say that once we crack UPSC and when we feel pride because of success, should we have higher status in the social hierarchical system? Should we have it or not? Please, people who are live, let me know. Please do comment, please do live chat. Dekho, see, I may have this one way communication method, but I can see your chats and I can feel you. Please make sure that you comment, post the lecture, you do drop your doubts, opinions in the chat box. That will help me in understanding your mindset as such. Okay, so moving further, pride at individual level, pride is something that motivates us all time, है ना? जो मैंने बोलता हूं, like pride is one such kind of thing. Generally people think, what if I crack UPSC next year and become an IAS, है ना? So ये pride moment जो होगा, pride movement which is there, this particular pride moment is something which motivates us all time. So agar if this particular moment is motivating, आज Sunday है, so generally we would have fun, meet up friends, go to a movie, but this particular pride is something, to achieve that particular pride moment, once you get success, it motivates you to study on this particular Sunday also. So at a societal level, pride is different, but when it comes to individual level, pride is something that motivates us all time to have that particular burning desire to be very effective, है ना? So pride makes us motivated and makes our burning desire to stay alive. Clear? So once you think about all the privileges you get, higher social status which you get, see, जो भी IAS बनना चाहते हैं, they will think about their individual level for sure, regarding with the facilities which they get, the salaries which they get, the occupations which they get, the benefits which they get. So 100% they would be thinking, बाहर UPSC interview board में नहीं बोलेंगे, वो अलग बात है, but they do have eye on this particular component of pride, higher status in the society. But interview mein no one would say, why you want to become an IAS officer? To have higher status, social hierarchy, ye koi nahi bolega interview mein. Are you getting this point? But in variant of diversified views which we have, why you want to become an IAS, this pride, higher status, higher component in social hierarchy 100% comes into picture. And Jayant is saying like there shouldn't be any higher status as such. For an IAS officer, respect should be priority, but not pride, I guess. Yes, but that particular respect comes when you fulfill your duties. Duty is what you have to focus much. When you respect your duty, there is no need to salute anyone. You would be saluted. When you don't respect your duty, then सबके नीचे गुलाम होना पड़ेगा. तो वो गुलामगिरी करने के लिए we are not going to become an IAS, however. But ये pride moment भी है. Yes, I do accept that. Pride moment is required. And one of the component in UPSC IAS preparation, why it has that much fascination and fantasy towards this job, is the pride. So pride is reason why we basically work hard and do all good stuff we want to do, whether it is achieving or behaving morally or caring for others. See, generally, people who are surrounding us, movies में generally ये चीज देखते हैं. So hero होगा and hero in road cross कर रही होगी and there shall be some blind people, है ना? So heroine helps these particular blind people to cross the road. वो hero देखेगा, है ना, इस heroine को, and he start falling in love. Clear? Because why do he fall in love? Because of her. Can anyone give the answer? So मतलब hero, why he will fall in love? मतलब ऐसा नहीं कि हर मूवी में यही सीन है, but some of the movies जो मैंने देखा था वो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. Why hero falls in love with this lady, or why hero falls in love with that particular lady who does good work is if he marries this particular girl, by seeing her achievements and future endeavors, he can be pride, he can achieve the sense of pleasure on others achievement. So either ये अच्छा काम नहीं कर रहा है, तो अगर एटलीस्ट ये अच्छा काम कर रहा है, तो he can get that particular emotion of pride. So इसके पीछे कारण यही है ना. So otherwise यार भाई, फर्स्ट इंस्टेंस में we are seeing some stranger person, है ना, and we fall in love, ये is not acceptable in the society, तो वो होगा भी नहीं है. So sometimes reverse भी होगा, when this particular hero tries to help individuals in fighting. Many movies में यही होता है, जो गरीब को हेल्प करेगा तो हीरोइन at some or the other time, है ना, she would be falling in love just because she want to enjoy this particular pride, है ना. तो और एक चीज बताना चाहता हूं, ग्रुप ऑफ टाइगर्स एंड लायंस जनरली दे आर रिफर्ड एज प्राइड. ग्रुप ऑफ टाइगर्स एंड लायंस, इसको हम प्राइड बोलते हैं, मतलब उसको देखते ही हमारा छाती चौड़ा हो जाता है ना. दैट्स व्हाई वी कॉल इट एज प्राइड. प्राइड बाय वाइडली एडमायर्ड पर्सन. क्लियर? So, and pride is universal. It is not like it sticks to only few societies. So in various regions, this particular pride which is there, that is universal, and it applies for different people, है ना, rich, poor, different cultured people, different country people, है ना. Blind athletes का एक case study इसने दिया है, जिसका ने blind athletes in Paralympic Games, including congenitally blind, clear, who can't see ever, they showed also pride. Despite these people generally should have the mercy feeling, नहीं तो वो generosity का feeling होनी चाहिए, नहीं तो वो sadness की feeling होनी चाहिए, but people who participate in this para Olympics, clear. So in general, what would happen is, despite of their particular vulnerability or physical disability, once they win gold or silver medal, they show this particular pride as such. Are you getting this point? It is as simple as like people who generally are physically handicapped. Clear? So generally, I feel like they should not have an emotion of this pride. Why? Because physically, when they are disabled, let's say UPSC का case study लेते हैं, physically handicapped person, है ना, has written UPSC, and UPSC has given them certain reservations, quotas, cutoff कम है, and they will give them some excess time to write the examination. So all these UPSC is providing. In lieu of that, once they become an IAS, generally what should be their emotion? Their emotion should be, once they become an IAS, they should be some idealistic persons to the society who are already physically handicapped as of now. Along with that, now these particular IAS have to show the society that what they can do once these physically handicapped people just they come to this particular services, and these kind of emotions have to be shown. But these IAS officers should also show this particular emotion called as pride. मतलब ये common entity है. It is not deferred. So recently, I have seen Sachin Tendulkar playing with these physically handicapped crickets, जो blind है, clear नहीं तो physically handicapped है. So Sachin Tendulkar, Akshay Kumar, I hope this Bollywood industry also involved in playing cricket. वो celebrity cricket league कुछ था ऐसा, मैंने वो देखा था. So in that particular entity, people are not having the feeling of emotion of deprivedness. Rather, they are feeling pride that we have played with Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar has come with it. Okay. See, I'm not saying like these people should not have pride as such, but despite of all these vulnerabilities, whenever they have this particular situation, every class of society, every component of the society, they generally would be having pride as a feeling. This is one of the important components. So isme if you go further and see what they have said is, non-human primates have also shown this pride emotion. तो होप एंथ्रोपोलॉजी स्टूडेंट्स को ज्यादा पता होगा when they read about the apes transformation towards the humans, है ना? तो इसमें शायद ये पढ़े होंगे. So non-human primates, they have shown this pride emotion. Example मैंने कोट किया यहाँ पे. Chimpanzees show something that looks a lot like pride right before they are about to fight with another chimpanzee. So this particular example which is there, I have seen this particular example in some National Geographic channel. One chimpanzee tries to fight with another chimpanzee. So when it comes, get down to the battlefield to fight with the chimpanzee, that gives one particular emotion or a feeling that हाँ भाई आ जाओ अब मैं शुरू हूँ, लड़ाई करते हैं, wrestling करते हैं. तो even non-human primates, they also have this particular consideration of pride. So pride in generally has evolved within societies, within organisms which have been developed. Theoretically, deers, let's say deers or else other prey. So these particular prey, when they escape from predators, है ना, mammals जो हैं, इसमें भी you will find that particular pride moment. Okay, so pride has evolved. Theoretically it makes sense as well because it promotes high status as such. So people who show pride are awarded with a higher status in the society. And when others look at the photos of the pride expression, they have an automatic tendency to see them as a high status. For example, if in our family, let's say our grandfather, if he might have been retired from Indian Army, if he had fought war against Pakistan, so ho sakta hai like he might die in the battlefield despite of his particular defeat. So by seeing his particular pictures, photographs, we will also get this particular pride expression. So when others look at the photos of the pride expression, they have an automatic tendency to see them as high status, है ना? So इसमें दो components हैं. For example, we have seen our old grandfather who have took a photograph on the battlefield, and we have utilized that photograph as a wall photo. So after some years, 20-30 years down the line, by seeing this particular photo, one, we have this particular pride feeling in us. Second, we also, this is an automatic tendency to see themselves as high status people. Yaar, hamare grandfather, he was a freedom struggler. He participated in Kargil war. He participated in this particular Indo-China war. Example is people from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana know this Telangana movement. है ना? So as I hail from this particular Telangana region, I know the essence of people who participated in Telangana movement. Whenever जब भी मैं गाँव जाता हूँ, कई rural area जाता हूँ, people tend to feel very pride by saying that my great grandfather has fought the first phase of freedom struggle for Telangana movement. And my मतलब जो students who have committed suicide, है ना, they also, their families have that pridal tendency. They still have pride. मैंने एक family से मिला था and their son has committed suicide during Telangana agitation. So वहां पे मैंने फैमिली से like obviously we will be having the emotion of empathy. तो मैं I was in the state of empathy. तो मैं जब empathy state में था, they were saying like sir आप हमारे ऊपर ये empathy और overcasting of the what's so called as like the sadness मत दिखाइए. We are not feeling aware of anything. We actually are pride that our son has dedicated his life to this Telangana for the future of Telangana. मतलब जो दूसरों को देख के, दूसरों का रेसिस्टेड एक्शंस को देख के, they generally have this particular tendency of making them to fall under high status automatically. मेरा ग्रैंडफादर यार कारगिल में he has fought the war against Pakistan. एक तो वी आर गिविंग हाई स्टेटस टू ग्रैंडफादर एंड वी आर मेकिंग आवर पर्टिकुलर स्टेटस इन द सोशल हायरार्की टू बी ऑन द हाई रेंज. मतलब ये प्राइड, व्हेन अदर्स लुक एट द फोटोज ऑफ प्राइड एक्सप्रेशन, दे हैव ऑटोमेटिक टेंडेंसी टू सी देम एज अ हाई स्टेटस. ग्रैंडफादर को भी हाई स्टेटस में बना रहे हैं एंड वी आर आल्सो ऑक्यूपाइंग अ स्पेस इन दैट हाई स्टेटस by giving that particular expression. So this pride is not devoid of class, organisms, biodiversity में जितने भी हैं, every community have this particular pride privilege. Okay, so example, people who have completed that 100 years and let's say that particular person has died at 102 years, है ना. So when जो final ceremony होगा, the last rites जो होंगे, that would be made with pride, not with sadness. उसमें भी हमें प्राइड दिखेगा, यार हमारा दादाजी ने 102 साल जिया. सो मतलब वो छाती चौड़ा करके प्राइड पे बोलेंगे, प्राइड पे. आर यू गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट? सो दीज आर सोशियोलॉजिकल व्यूज, एंथ्रोपोलॉजिकल व्यूज एज सच. ओके, सो प्राइड के बारे में बिहेवियरल स्टडीज फाइंड दैट पीपल हु शो प्राइड आर मोर लाइकली टू बी ट्रीटेड एज लीडर्स एंड गिवन पावर. So people generally who have this tendency and show pride are more likely to be treated as leaders and given power. Generally people show this particular attitude of pride. अगर हमारा बैच में ही देखो, so who generally have this attitude of showing this particular pride, they are more likely to be given as a class leader. और generally हमारा ग्रुप में कैप्टन को, like whom we would be choosing as a captain, generally that particular people who have this particular pride expression, you know, from an evolutionary perspective that is really adaptive, you know. So obviously people who show this particular pride, they are given the power and they have been given up with this particular leadership. And pride also varies a lot from culture to culture, country to country. Pride is universal. Pride is existing in past societies, present societies, and pride would also exist in the future societies. It varies a lot from culture to culture, country to country. अगर यूएसए का एंड इंडिया का अगर आप देखेंगे, people of USA think as good and people of India think as bad. Pride existing तो है, because in USA these particular pride components which are there, these pride components which generally make a special status to an individual, earning money, है नी, earning money and standard of living increase. तो ये values है यूएसए में. earning money, becoming the CEO of the company, increase the standard of living, अच्छा मकान में, BMW कार में घूमो, ये वो particular USA society का, these are the values. Clear? These are the values which run in that society. But Indian society में पैसे कमाना, ज्यादा पैसे कमाना, BMW में घूमना और बड़ा पैलेस में रहना is not like a pride. It's like a deprivation. So it means he has become rich by looting poor. Or else within a family, if a parent has 3 children, if one particular children, the elder one, if he becomes an IAS, and the second one अगर मान लेते कि like auto driver बना, third वाला अगर cleaner बना, है ना, तो obviously this particular pride would be very high for that particular person who have cracked. Let's say in a home of 3 children, एक बना IAS, एक बना driver, एक बना cleaner, है ना. सो इंडिया में क्या है, इंडिविजुअलिज्म नहीं है, कलेक्टिविज्म है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अमेरिका लाइक सोसाइटीज में अगर ये बंदा आईएएस बना तो ही इज होल एंड सोल रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर बिकमिंग एन आईएएस. बट इंडिया लाइक सोसाइटीज में क्या है, if he has become an IAS, it is not only just because of him, but also of the sacrifices of his younger brothers. That's why India would एक्सपेक्ट द एस्पेक्ट ऑफ कलेक्टिविज्म, मतलब ये आईएएस बन गया, अभी अभी ये घर संभालेगा, तो ऑल द हाउस होल्ड इनकम now comes from this particular elder brother, and he will also make the lives of these particular rest to be in very perfect state. तो ये इंडिया में कलेक्टिविज्म का चैनलाइजिंग है, बट यूएसए में अगर आप देखेंगे वेयर इंडिविजुअलिज्म इज वन ऑफ द ड्राइविंग कंपोनेंट, तुरंत ये आईएएस बना ये घर से निकलेगा एंड ही विल स्टार्ट हिज ओन, ही कंस्ट्रक्ट हिज ओन मैंशन बिल्डिंग, है ना, एंड नया कार लेगा, एंड ही विल नॉट फोकस अपॉन दीज टू, ड्राइवर बने या क्लीनर बने, हमें क्या करना है. सो इफ देर इज एनी हेल्प विच ही कैन डू, ही विल ओनली डू इट इन मॉनिटरी टर्म्स, मतलब ये जाके अगर इसको पूछे भाई थोड़ा पैसे चाहिए तो 2-3 लाख रुपए देता होगा, बट intentionally this particular person doesn't contribute to the welfare of these people. हो सकता है these particular parents might have had only money to make this particular elderly son to be educated, इसीलिए हो सके this बाकी to have become driver and cleaner. बट ये यूएसए में इंडिविजुअलिज्म में ये कॉम्पोनेंसी नहीं है, बट इंडिया में जनरली ये एक्सपेक्टेंसी है. सो इन दिस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन फैमिली एज ए होल कलेक्टिवली दे शिल बी प्राइड, तो वो कलेक्टिविज्म की वजह से प्राइड जो है दे विल एंजॉय. बट अगर इफ ही अलोन वांट्स टू गेट दिस सोशल हायरार्की और सोशल हायरार्की में जो हायर स्टेटस लाना चाहते हैं, दैट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. दैट्स द जनरली इट हैपेंस इन इंडिया. जब भी हम तुरंत आईएएस बनेंगे, क्लियर, ऑब्वियसली चांसेस आर देयर दैट वी एंड अप लिविंग आवर फैमिलीज एंड मूविंग फर्दर इनटू द हायर सोशल स्ट्रेटा ऑफ द सोसाइटी. मैंने ये बहुत बार देखा था, एग्जाम्पल बताता हूं. वन ऑफ माई फ्रेंड है ना, उसने जॉब पाया है एक कंपनी में, आई डोंट रिवील दैट पर्टिकुलर कंपनी नेम, तो उसका पैकेज सम 1.1 करोड़ रुपीस था, है ना. सो उसका फैमिली में जो नेक्स्ट 2 सिबलिंग्स जो हैं उतना ज्यादा पढ़ा नहीं, दैट माइट बी बिकॉज ऑफ देयर इंडिविजुअल, तीनों को पढ़ाए थे पेरेंट्स बट रेस्ट 2 डिड नॉट स्टडी. तो ये जैसे ये पैकेज मिला, ही स्टार्टेड फोकसिंग अपॉन हिज न्यूक्लियर फैमिली, left this particular family, and initially he supported this particular family with monetary terms, but later on as he has developed his own family, children, उसने वो higher strata level of society पे जब चले गया, he started least to focus on the family which he has lived with. So as he is enjoying higher status with pride in India like society, this collectivism approach won't make it to happen, and they feel this as pride, as it is depriving the social values of Indian societies like joint families, है ना, एक सिस्टमेटिक अप्रोच, एल्डर्स को रिस्पेक्ट देना, फैमिली को तुरंत लेके जाना, सपोर्टिव टू एवरीवन. सो ये कलेक्टिविज्म अप्रोच में मिलेगा आपको, इंडिविजुअल अप्रोच में दिस इज नॉट गोइंग टू हैपन. आर यू गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट? सो इन इंडियन कंटेक्स्ट प्राइड इज bad due to collectivism nature of the family. So pride is not bad due to collectivism nature of family. In collectivism nature of family, not only in family like system, in India अगर आप देखेंगे we have this particular attitude, अगर खाना खाने चाहते हो, if you want to eat something, तो तुरंत आपका फ्रेंड को या फैमिली मेंबर को तुरंत लेके जाएंगे. You alone won't go and eat sitting there. So this is the societal value which has been inbuilt in us. अगर शॉपिंग को जा रहे हैं, you won't go alone, you will take up your friends. मूवी को जा रहे हैं, you will take up your friends. But Western societies में you see there is some kind of that individualistic nature. अकेला बैठा होगा बर्गर खाते, अकेला गया मूवी पॉपकॉर्न खा रहे हुए मूवी देख रहा है, कुछ भी आवाज नहीं है, he alone went. मतलब this individualism has been developed by that society and that is appreciated there. But in our society, collectivism is appreciated, but this pride feeling in this particular collectivism appears bad. So एक बना आईएएस एंड सुबह उठ के जा रहा है फॉर्च्यूनर कार में, एक बना ड्राइवर सुबह उठ के जा रहा है ऑटो में, तो obviously that pride feeling is in this particular collectivism context is appeared bad. So in Indian society, as pride varies from lot of cultures to cultures, it is different. हो सकता है in certain collectivism societies of India pride is accepted. तो ये बना आईएएस, ये बना प्राइम मिनिस्टर, ये बना आईपीएस, तो सबको प्राइड है। पूरा कलेक्टिविज्म में जो प्राइड एज अ कॉमन थिंग है, differences never come, but individually when he has pride and when he want to go into the next social hierarchy living this, then the issues start coming into picture. Can we say Indian society is changing its tendency from collectivism to individualism? Absolutely, we can say in the present context that is what happening. Not caring, bothering about the parents who have made us to feed. Clear? जो 20 साल देखे थे, है ना, एटलीस्ट आई एम नॉट द एक्सेप्शन, क्लियर, मैं इंक्लूडेड हूं इसमें. सो इट इज नॉट जस्ट बिकॉज दैट वी डोंट लव अवर पेरेंट्स, इट इज जस्ट बिकॉज द सोसाइटी इज रनिंग सच ए वे. तो इंडिया में क्या होता है, होशियार लोग क्या करते हैं, जो आगे वाला करेगा दैट इंडियन पीपल टेंड टू डू द थिंग विच द अदर पर्सन इज डूइंग, इंडियंस टेंड्स टू मेक इट एज ए हैबिट. ये एग्जाम्पल बताता हूं, इंडिया में ये अप्रोच इज नॉट दैट ग्रेट, क्लियर. सो मैं बताता हूँ, लाइक मैंने ऑप्शनल कोर्स स्टार्ट किया था, मुझे देख के 10 लोग स्टार्ट किए. मैं ऑप्शनल कोर्स में एक शॉर्ट वीडियो बना रहा था, उसको देख के 10 लोग बनाए. ये क्या है, मतलब देयर इज नो इनोवेशन काइंड ऑफ थिंग, लाइक शीप मॉप दे जनरली फॉलो. So in collectivism, this is one disadvantage we have. See, collectivism has advantages and disadvantages. Individualism has disadvantages and advantages. But मैं क्या बोल रहा हूँ, Indian society को collectivism approach which would be there, that generally tends to suit. So in this, अगर pride को लाके fit किए, that is appearing bad. So India like country में वो bad appear होगा. But moving further, if we transform ourselves to completely individualistic nature, है ना, so that might, the pride like feeling might appear great, है ना. तो अगर मोदी भी देखो, कभी भी बात करेंगे, he doesn't say that it is his own success of becoming a prime minister. He says many factors, his team, BJP karyakartas have contributed, Vasudhaiva Kutumbam has contributed. So he takes into whole as a collective nature. तो he takes into Hindi belt, साउथ में आएगा, बोलेगा भाई हिंदू वासियों, जो हिंदू है, सब हिंदुओं ने बीजेपी का जीत दिलाया है. तो वो कलेक्टिविज्म, जब भी वो जाएगा यूएन कॉन्फ्रेंस पे, यूएनओ पे, everyone speaks about what America does, what America want to do, what China does, what China want to do, but India alone speaks what we all can do. वो इंडिया का वैल्यू सिस्टम है कलेक्टिविज्म, इंडिविजुअलिज्म वैल्यू सिस्टम नहीं है. बट वी आर taking this individualism from this idiotic societies which we feel so called are developed nations, है ना. तो उसी वजह से many people from India, they go there, stay there, enjoy that life of doing the masters, graduation, work there in Domino's and Pizza and come back, might not come back. They generally tend to reach these particular locations. But यहाँ का जो collectivism है, clear, that is what the value system we have. Collectivism को मैं value system बोलता हूँ. बात तो बिल्कुल सही है ना. Are you getting this point? So individualistic culture where the emphasis, जो मैंने बोला था, emphasis would be on standing out. Pride could be viewed as a good thing because pride is what motivates you to stand out and do the thing. But collectivism cultures, ये Indian culture है, collectivism cultures, Indian cultures. So where emphasis is on group success and individualism is downplayed in society as such. So इसीलिए Indian team जब भी बोलो, like Indian team, whenever Indian team में IPL में कभी भी देखो, they say that it's a team effort. But अगर आप वो पाकिस्तान, है ना, ऑस्ट्रेलिया को दो, जो yeah, I have played well and I have been practicing in the nets since the last couple of days where Johnny has helped me. मतलब ये लैंग्वेज आएगा उसको, है ना. डेवलप्ड कंट्रीज में इंडिविजुअलिज्म वहां पे जो डोमिनेंट है, बट इंडिया में देखो, यस बॉयज प्लेड रियली वेल, ये बात आएगा. सो दिस इज इनबिल्ट एज ए पार्ट ऑफ अवर कल्चर, है ना. So collective cultures where emphasis is on group success and individualism is downplayed, display of pride can be problematic. It could actually disrupt the social harmony in the society. तो ये सोशल हार्मोनी जो डिस्टर्ब करेगा, अभी जो मैंने एग्जांपल दिया है, क्लियर, हाँ, दैट इज व्हाट जनरली वुड हैपन, है ना. सो इंडिविजुअलिस्टिक कल्चर वर्सेस कलेक्टिव कल्चर्स में ये डिफरेंस बनेगा. आर यू गेटिंग दिस? सो जनरली अगर आप प्राइड को देखेंगे, प्राइड जनरली हैज एज एवरीथिंग हैज टू साइड्स ऑफ द कॉइन, है ना, फेस ए एंड फेस बी, हेड्स एंड टेल्स वाला. प्राइड ऑल्सो हैज टू फेसेट्स. वन इज ऑथेंटिक, है ना, वन इज hubristic. One is authentic and one is hubristic. In this authentic aspect of pride, achievement and arrogance come into picture. You know? So whereby we speak about the authenticity and hubristic nature, where the former authentic pride focuses upon the achievement, where the hubristic pride focuses upon the arrogance. Pride might give you achievement on one side of the coin, but along with that, it can also give you arrogance. Like achievement, self-worth. Achievement में अगर आप देखेंगे self worth, feeling confident and wanting to put in hard work that is relevant for your self esteem or self confidence. And arrogance and egotism and inflated ego probably due to the feelings of insecurity, है ना. So society में this particular situation generally comes. तो pride की वजह से hubristic and arrogance बढ़ने की chances है. एक तो achievement मिलेगा, है ना. So achievement, self-worth, feeling confident and all. But on the other side of the coin, due to this pride, arrogance, egotism and inflated ego, probably due to the feelings of insecurity. Recently, I have come across with one particular case. So market में क्या होता है? Generally between institutions, we would generally have some rivalry which generally runs, है ना. तो pride की वजह से one of particular person, तो उसको क्या हुआ? So rather than his particular aspect of achievement focusing on self worth, feeling confident, ही उसका जो arrogance था, egotism था, वो बहुत बड़ा. तो उसकी वजह से he has inflated his ego and probably due to the feelings of insecurity, he started disturbing other persons in the market. So pride की वजह से, which is hubristic in nature, clear, arrogance बना के वो इनसिक्योरिटी को बूस्ट अप करने की कोशिश करेगा. सो दैट इनसिक्योरिटी इज अ नेगेटिव शेड ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर प्राइड. सो व्हेन प्राइड कम्स along with the social hierarchy which you get, the social harmony, higher status which you get, अदर साइड ऑफ द कॉइन पे एरोगेंस भी बढ़ने का चांसेस है. तो वो एरोगेंस बढ़ा तो दैट इज द प्लेस वेयर आप विनाश हो जाएंगे. दिस इज व्हाई पीपल एंगेज इन एरोगेंस एंड दैट इज मोर लिंक्ड विथ नार्सिसिज्म. एंड आपको नार्सिसिज्म पता है, लाइक सेल्फिशनेस, clear. So when people indulge in this, engage in this arrogance, that is more, we can link it with narcissism. अगर आप देखेंगे selfishness involving a sense of entitlement, lack of empathy and a need for admiration as characterizing a personality type. तो मार्केट में बहुत सारे लोग ऐसे कैरेक्टर होते हैं. Clear. I find many people in this life. Clear. Life journey of यूपीएससी से शुरू करके टीचर, मेंटर जब बनो, क्लियर. सो इस पर्टिकुलर कैरेक्टर से मुझे डिस्टर्ब करने वाले बहुत थे. ये तो इट इज वेरी क्लोजर टू माय लाइफ, नार्सिसिज्म जो है ना. So people who generally have this selfishness involving a sense of entitlement, lack of empathy. I have worked for people die hard many times and I have believed with many people individually, Delhi mein, Hyderabad mein, Mumbai mein, Bangalore mein. But due to their pride, they have followed this arrogance technique, narcissism, selfishness बढ़ गया, along with that the sense of entitlement, lack of empathy and a need for admiration. So as initially बोलते थे like we are a team, but collectivism, when they have succeeded in their lives, वो collectivism गया, individualism आ गया. Clear. So ये narcissism तो मैं life में कभी नहीं बोलता हूँ. And this kind of pride might lead to this particular narcissism also. Achievement, self-esteem, and a self-worth, feeling confident. This is very good. But people are driving onto the other angle, getting into this particular narcissism state, characterizing a personality type. Okay. Can we say individualism has the nature of narcissism, हाँ, individualism have the character of narcissism when individualism will be mixed with greed. इंडिविजुअलिज्म जब मिक्स होगा ग्रीड से तब ये नार्सिसिज्म का कैरेक्टर दिखने लगेगा, है ना? Regarding this, Jayant, so individualism when it is clubbed with greed, then this narcissism comes into picture. Okay, so pride का और एक perceptions था. So in this particular perspective where social theory of pride के बारे में सोचा, अब तक pride was seen in a science and religious perspective and individual level and a group level and collective level. But now Daniel Sinsel, clear, according to him, he was a sociologist. Social theory of pride generally, according to him, pride has two functions. One is prospective function and one is retrospective function. Do remember this. In retrospective function, if one has achieved something in the past, she or he advertises it. ये common human attitude है. Clear, the retrospective function. Example, आज सुबह हुआ था. I have woke up somewhere around 6:37 in the morning. So we went for a jog. तो एक 5-10 मिनट में like I have stopped. I was a bit tired. तो my friend has asked me, यार अभी तो 5-10 मिनट हुए, let's jog for some more time. मैंने बोला भाई आज मैं tired हूँ, I can't do it, I'll just have a walk. तो मैंने फ्रेंड ने बोला being young, है ना, so if you can't run now, what is the situation? ये बहुत बोलता रहा. तो मैंने क्या बोला भाई, when I was in my 20s, अभी तो 30s में आ गया, when I was in my 20s, I used to run 10 kilometers such a stretch, 15 kilometers marathon जाता था मैं, है ना. I have completed a complete marathon of 41 kilometer. तो ये जो मेरा एडवर्टाइजिंग करना जो है ना, ये रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव फंक्शन है which can be addressed through social theory of pride में. Pride has two functions. One function is retrospective function where whatever the things which we might have did in the past, clear, so those advertising karna is retrospective function. In prospective function, this emotion guides action because it tells the individual which actions or traits or achievements are liked by other people in the group. मतलब फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक ग्रुप में 100 पीपल हैं, तो इस पर्टिकुलर 100 ग्रुप में सो यू हैव जॉइंड and this group became 101 and you came to know that within this 100 people who are existing in the group, most of them are non-vegetarians who love mutton biryani. So as you know this that most of the people love this mutton biryani. So आपने ये 100 members को घर बुलाया, invite किए function में, and in function the most favorite dish was mutton biryani, है ना. So this emotion guides action because it tells the individual which actions or traits or achievements are liked by the people in the group. तो mutton biryani खिलाना और बनाना is the action which they like or the traits or achievements. Like let's say हमारा एक ग्रुप है तो उसमें we have a group of total 50. So aging from 28 to 58, है ना, अप्रोक्सीमेटली 30 ईयर का एज ग्रुप वाले सम 50-60 मेंबर एक फैमिली है. सो जो क्रिकेट का फैमिली है, तो उसमें व्हेन आई हैव एंटर्ड, generally I love to speak less regarding with cricket. I love to play more cricket. But what I have observed is all the 50 members in the group, whenever they meet, whenever they have get-togethers, the most common topic is cricket and the second most common topic is politics. तो जब मुझे ये पता लगा कि like politics and cricket is the most common topic which they would be discussing when they sit. तो जब से मैं उसको join किया, I started indulging my speech in regarding with politics and cricket. So this group has accepted me very easily and given me that particular pride status. अरे भाई विजय कैसा है? Like how are you? So मतलब वो social pride जो है, the social value of pride which has been given, that has been given in this particular prospective function. Clear? Let's say if this particular group likes some achievements which I have got in cricket, तो मैं कोशिश करता हूँ कि like ये pride status मिलने के लिए I love to share my photos where I have got man of the match, man of the series, नहीं तो मुझे कुछ ट्रॉफी मिला, प्राइज मनी मिला, तो वो दिखाने की कोशिश करता हूँ ताकि मुझे प्राइड मिले. Are you getting this point? So this is a retrospective and prospective function which we have in this particular society. Okay. So Daniel Sinzer ने ये कहा, the reason why pride exists is because it is useful to obtain the valuation from others in the term of status and linking and support. Clear? So इसने ये बोल रहा है कि like sociologist जो हैं, what he is saying is the reason why pride exists in the society is it is useful to obtain the value from others in terms of status, linking and support. Pride is not so much a function of other people but a function of the self individual and how I myself interpret these particular events. So इसको हम psychodynamic theory of pride बोलते हैं. So generally pride which is an individual thing, है ना? So psychologist or psychological theories mainly give up one particular aspect of individualistic nature. For example, generally suicide के बारे में अगर हम बात किए, so is suicide an individual perspective or societal perspective? तो suicide जो है, suicide like component जो है, it can be of two perspective, individualistic perspective and societal perspective. What psychologist would be saying is a person tends to commit suicide due to his pressure which is created in his inner mind, which has made him to lose his life. तो ये हो गया psychologist का perspective. Same if you go and cross check it with sociologist would be saying that suicide is not an individual perspective, it's a societal perspective. Emile Durkheim, a sociologist, has given this particular theory that suicide is not a individual perspective, rather it's a societal perspective, है ना? तो in this particular sense जो साइकोडायनामिक थ्योरी ऑफ प्राइड है वो क्या एक्सप्लेन कर रहा है यहाँ पे, इज लाइक pride is not so much a function of other people from external aspect, rather a function of the self individual and how I myself interpret these particular events. Clear? So and I feel pride and I guide my actions based on how I think of other people or how I expect that other people will see me or should see me. Yes, social theory of pride. So people, whoever would be reading about the sociology, है ना, जो भी सोशियोलॉजी पढ़ेंगे, मेरा सोशियोलॉजी ऑप्शनल नहीं है, मेरा ज्योग्राफी है, बट आई कैन इंटरप्रेट फ्यू थिंग्स. सी, a geographer can interpret sociology and psychology because master of sciences, है ना? So being a geography faculty, I am interpreting sociology and psychology because I am between transition zone between you. Individual society के बीच में ecosystem कड़ा है. But if you have sociology or psychology as optional, इस particular aspect of pride, sense of feeling, suicide को, you can explain it more better. I know few components, not rest. Sociology faculties and psychology faculties can explain you better. But मुझे थोड़ा बहुत पता है कि like ये प्राइड का जो सोशल थ्योरी जो है, इट feels that it I feel pride and I guide my actions based on how I think of other people एंड हाउ आई एक्सपेक्ट दैट अदर पीपल विल सी मी और शुड सी मी, है ना? तो अदर्स क्या बोलेंगे, अदर्स कैसे देखेंगे, अदर्स को प्राइड कैसे मिल रहा है, मुझे प्राइड कैसे मिलेगा. सो ऑल दिस पर्टिकुलर कंसिडरेशंस वुड कम अंडर दिस सोशल थ्योरी ऑफ प्राइड. वही साइकोडायनेमिक थ्योरी में इट्स नॉट मच ऑन अदर पीपल बट अ फंक्शन विच हैपेंस विद इन द इंडिविजुअल. तो ये दो साइकोलॉजी एंड सोशियोलॉजी का कंपैरिजंस है. रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव एंड प्रोस्पेक्टिव. ओके जयंत, मैं रिपीट करता हूं. सी रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव एंड प्रोस्पेक्टिव में, सो जनरली इफ आई एम स्पीकिंग विथ माय फ्रेंड x and y, if they are speaking on certain topic of cricket, है ना, यार हमें क्रिकेट खेलना पड़ेगा इस साल में, नहीं तो आगे जाके क्या खेलेंगे, एंड ये डिस्कशन अगर हो रहा है, एंड अगर वो मुझे पूछे कि लाइक, हाँ विजय, हाउ आर यू, वुड यू लाइक टू जॉइन अस प्लेइंग क्रिकेट एंड डू यू नो हाउ टू प्ले क्रिकेट, तो ये बात सुन के मेरा ईगो हर्ट होगा. डू यू नो क्रिकेट, है ना? तब मैं क्या बोलता हूँ, भाई देखो आई एम अ स्टेट प्लेयर, है ना, ये एडवर्टाइजिंग करेंगे ना, आई एम ए स्टेट प्लेयर, आई प्लेड अंडर 19, अंडर 21. आप क्या मान रहे हो, मैं बहुत बढ़िया प्लेयर हूं, लेके जाओ मुझे, है ना? ये जो एडवर्टाइजमेंट करते हैं ना, ये एडवर्टाइजमेंट व्हाई वी आर डूइंग, we are doing because to attain that particular pride, the sense of pleasure. तब ये क्या बोलेंगे दोनों, हाँ भाई तुम्हें इतना अच्छा क्रिकेट खेलते हो तो हमें भी थोड़ा बैटिंग एंड बॉलिंग सिखाओ, है ना? सो दे वुड बी सबमिसिव टू मी एंड दे वुड बी गिविंग मी सम हायर स्टेटस, सो नो. तो हायर स्टेटस सोशल हायरार्की में मुझे ओपनिंग बैटिंग देंगे. अगर मैं प्रूव नहीं कर पाया तो अलग बात है, बट वो जो एडवर्टाइजिंग करना टू अटेन दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेट ऑफ प्राइड इज रेट्रोस्पेक्टिव फंक्शन. इन प्रोस्पेक्टिव फंक्शन में दिस इमोशन गाइड्स एक्शन बिकॉज इट टेल्स द इंडिविजुअल which actions or traits or achievements are liked by other people in the group. So for example, if you are entering into a group, और अगर आप जॉब करने जा रहे हैं एक पर्टिकुलर बैंकिंग सिस्टम में, you have been appointed as a clerk or assistant manager and today you are going into it. So now you feel some sense of discomfort over there, and you also feel that particular sense of insecurity, inferiority. So to gain that particular social status and respect in that particular bank, what you will do, you will try to utilize certain actions which would be pleased by that particular group, है ना? So people in that particular group जो actions पसंद करेंगे, you will try to do those particular actions. And people who love in that particular group, जो achievements वो लोग like करेंगे, you will try to bring out such particular achievements. Like for example, आपका banking employees अगर मान लेते कि like 20-30 members है वो बैंक में, and they are going to play cricket this year, this particular week. You have joined on Monday and this Saturday they are going to play cricket. So as you already know cricket, अगर आप जाके if you go and say दर सर मैं क्रिकेट जानता हूँ कि लाइक मुझे क्रिकेट खिलाओ थोड़ा, and I generally tend to play very good, मैं स्टेट प्लेयर हूँ, I can win a match for us. And if you prove that particular action of winning a match for that particular bank team, then in entire bank group of 30 people, you shall be given the higher status of pride, at least for that one particular day. So this particular function which you follow, which the group like, is prospective, or if you explain that particular function which you have did in the past, is called as retrospective function. Are you understanding this, Jayant? So psychodynamic theory and all. And pride, many people ask me like, sir, confidence से pride आएगा या pride से confidence आएगा? So both are interlinked. See, I am not going to say you a straightforward answer because UPSC में आपका जो mind dimension है, this should not be biased in any way. It should be at the central part. That's why pride से confidence मिलेगा, confidence से pride मिलेगा. So confidence, your degree of certainty about achieving something. कॉन्फिडेंस, सी हाउ पीपल जनरली आस्क दिस पर्टिकुलर क्वेश्चन, विराट कोहली से मैच से पहले पूछेंगे हाउ कॉन्फिडेंट यू आर इन स्कोरिंग ए 100 टुडे, एज कॉन्फिडेंट एज द लास्ट 100 विच हैव स्कोर्ड। ये डायलॉग तो विराट कोहली बोलेगा ही बोलेगा 100%। अगर विराट कोहली से पूछे हाउ कॉन्फिडेंट यू आर इन like winning this particular IPL, so your degree of certainty, because Virat Kohli has that particular certainty of making the matches to win, so that particular continuous certainty of making the matches to win about something is confidence which you have. If anyone asks me, sir, how confident you are in making students to crack civil services, तो मैं obviously बोलता हूं कि like as I have degree of uncertainty, है ना, so I have written UPSC, I have started teaching, and I have been in my 11th and 12th year, I know the loops of UPSC and I know the previous year question, सब कुछ पता है, everything I know. So obviously my degree of certainty about achieving something is high, so obviously I'll be confident enough to deliver the subject, and I'll be confident enough to say the student like you will be cracking UPSC if you hear my particular rigorous lines which I would be saying in for your UPSC preparation and the strategy and planning. Are you getting this? Pride from past achievement and prospective future achievement which give pride. Is this the correct understanding, sir? Future achievement which that group likes, future achievement or future action or future trading which that particular group would be liking. Are you getting, Jayant? So confidence is your degree of certainty about achieving something. This is an internal variable that may regulate your behavior. See, sometimes we might be less confident, sometimes we might be overconfident, sometimes we might be confident. So it's our internal variable degree. So if you, for example, अगर आप UPSC mock test में if you have solved 10,000 MCQs, what is your degree of certainty? It is obviously high. Then obviously you will be confident to write your prelims. But आपने सिर्फ 150 या 200 क्वेश्चन MCQ सॉल्व किए प्रीलिम से पहले, so your degree of certainty would be less, so hence confidence would be less. So this is internal variable that may regulate your behavior. तो अगर confident है, example बोलता हूं, if you are confident enough, so what you would be doing is you would be carving out the toy from a wood stick which you have. अगर आप confident नहीं है तो क्या करेंगे, आपका internal, आपको चाहिए toy. If you are confident, you will make a toy from the wood, or else you go and buy. Are you getting this point? So आपको toy चाहिए भाई, है ना, either आप बनाओ confidence से और आप खरीदो when you have that regulating behavior. So one of the components जो है pride में, that is confidence. If you have pride underpinned by actual achievement and validated by other people, then you have confidence. So for example, you have achieved IAS, All India rank 1 आया, and you are underpinned by actual achievement, तो आप ये मान रहे कि like यार rank 1 achievement नहीं है, now this is the responsibility which I have on me. अभी IAS बन रहे, you don't feel it as an achievement, rather feel it as a responsibility. So यही बातें बोलते जाएंगे whenever you select. Obviously these are the things which you would be saying. तो जब आप बोलेंगे but other people जो हैं, clear, who validate your success, actual achievement, then you have confidence. So then your confidence levels would be increased. तब प्राइड भी होने का चांसेस है. मान लेते कि लाइक डिस्पाइट आईएएस बनने के बाद आपको प्राइड नहीं है, but due to the others giving you confidence, obviously pride would be lifted up. So confidence can be considered as an inner component of pride. Without confidence, this pride doesn't exist for longer time, and without pride, confidence doesn't come. ये भी है. So that's why they have been interlinking connection between this particular pride and confidence. Okay. So pride, a valuable emotion or trait for the social species. तो इसको जानना बहुत जरूरी है ना. इसमें मिक्सचर है, डिफरेंट पीपल से इट ऑन अ डिफरेंट नोट. साइकोलॉजिस्ट एक बोलेगा, सोशियोलॉजिस्ट एक बोलेगा, एंथ्रोपोलॉजिस्ट एक बोलेगा, इकोनॉमिस्ट एक बोलेगा, सब दिमाग खराब करेंगे. बट सुनो ज्योग्राफर की, है ना. तो प्राइड इज ए काइंड ऑफ डबल एज स्वॉर्ड. प्राइड लीड्स टू प्रोडक्शन ऑफ सोशली वैल्यूएबल थिंग्स. ये तो सही है. प्राइड लीड्स टू प्रोडक्शन ऑफ सोशली वैल्यूएबल थिंग्स लाइक रेस्पेक्ट, है ना. जो प्राइड आपको देगा रेस्पेक्ट, मतलब जहां पे भी आप जाओ लोग खड़े हो जाएंगे, है ना. सो प्राइड लीड्स टू प्रोडक्शन ऑफ सोशली वैल्यूएबल थिंग्स. उसमें एग्जांपल रेस्पेक्ट है. बट इफ यू प्रोड्यूस सोशली वैल्यूएबल थिंग्स टू मच, you achieve great things and have a super high status, people could resent you for that. So further this might lead to arrogant nature of people that might result into temperament, and वो temperament lose होके आपके ऊपर चिढ़ने का चांसेस है. एग्जाम्पल बताता हूं इसका. अंबानी, ये मेरे दिमाग में कभी भी घूमेगा. मुंबई इंडियंस टीम हार गया, पाप बेचारा कहाँ गया होगा अंबानी, है ना. तो अंबानी ने जियो सिम दिया, लोग खुश थे. 99 रुपीस में दिया, थोड़ा खुश थे. 199 दिया, थोड़ा बहुत खुश था. फिर 298 करा, गुस्से में थे. फिर बोला 3 महीने एक बार करो, है ना. अभी लोग गुस्से में हैं अंबानी के ऊपर, बिकॉज ही हैज अचीव्ड ग्रेट थिंग्स. वो पैसे की वजह से अचीव किए होंगे. पहले बहुत रेस्पेक्ट अचीव किया, सो ये रेस्पेक्ट ज्यादा हुआ सोसाइटी में. पैसे की वजह से रेस्पेक्ट ज्यादा होता है, उसका एम्प्लॉय तो खड़ा होगा. बट इफ अंबानी कम्स, डू यू थिंक आई विल स्टैंड? मैं तो खड़ा ही नहीं होऊंगा. पीपल, अंबानी आए तो उसका एम्प्लॉय खड़ा हो जाता है. बट आई ही इज अ रिप्रेजेंटर, मेरे पास जियो सिम है, आई एम कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टू हिज सक्सेस, सो व्हाई आई विल स्टैंड. सो अगर ये रेस्पेक्ट ज्यादा हुआ, इफ यू प्रोड्यूस सोशली वैल्यूएबल थिंग्स टू मच, अचीव ग्रेट थिंग्स एंड हैव ए हाई स्टेटस, people could resent you for that in any instant, either emotionally or economically or class difference wise देखेंगे. You will be, see, Ambani is given a great respect wherever he is gone, but जो normal people हैं, generally they could resent you for that particular attitude of achievement, of achieving more and more social status. Can one's pride be insecurity for others? When pride is leading to more social valuable things, when pride has become more, है ना. So when pride, for example, अंबानी के घर के आगे, है ना, अगर ये वॉचमैन है, अंबानी का कार एंटर हो रहा है ना, एंड वॉचमैन खड़ा नहीं हुआ, हो सकता है ही माइट हैव बीन स्लेप्ट और बैठा होगा, नोटिस नहीं किया होगा, एंड अंबानी को सैल्यूट नहीं मारा, तो अभी अंबानी को रेस्पेक्ट नहीं मिला. तो अंबानी को रेस्पेक्ट नहीं मिला, तो हो सकता है दैट पर्टिकुलर वॉचमैन माइट लूज द जॉब. माइट बोल रहा हूं, ऐसा नहीं कि अंबानी साहब यही करते जाएंगे, बट माइट लूज द जॉब. तो ये माइट एंड काइट में बहुत अंतर है. माइट लूज द जॉब बोल रहा हूं, दैट वॉचमैन माइट लूज द जॉब. सो दिस ओवर प्राइड will lead to over socially valuable things. They expect more respect, more झुकावट. अंबानी आते ही सब कॉर्पोरेट एम्प्लॉयज, हाँ हाँ भाई भाई भाई, नमस्ते नमस्ते, कैसे है भैया, यही बोलते जाएंगे भूखे जैसे. तो विच इज नॉट एक्सेप्टेबल इन द सोसाइटी. चाहे भले वो थोड़ा ज्यादा पैसे कमाया हो, रोल्स रॉयस में जाता हो, एंटेली में रहता हो, ऐसा नहीं कि वो भगवान है. But when it comes in front of God, everyone is equally treated. And due to this socially more valuable things, what generally happen is, like for example, ये और एक केस स्टडी बोलता हूँ, एंड जयंत होप यू हैव अंडरस्टूड ये इनसिक्योरिटी वाला. एंड नाउ मैं ये बोलता हूँ, प्राइड लीड्स टू प्रोडक्शन ऑफ सोशली वैल्यूएबल थिंग्स लाइक, फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मूवी सेलिब्रिटीज. रिसेंटली मैंने गया तिरुपति, टीटीडी, है ना. तो वहां पे मैंने खड़ा हुआ 300 रुपए टिकट में. तो 300 रुपए टिकट मैंने लिया एक 2-3 महीने पहले, एंड लाइन में घुसना पड़ता है देवस्थानम में, वो टेम्पल में, टू हैव ए दर्शन. हम घुसे रात को 10 बजे वो पर्टिकुलर एंट्री लाइन में. तो हमारा किस्मत था कि फ्यू सेलिब्रिटीज, I don't want to take the name of celebrities, वो सेलिब्रिटीज तिरुपति को आने वाले थे, ये हमें पता चला, इसीलिए वो तो रात में गए, जाके घुस गए थे. उस पर्टिकुलर लाइन में। सुबह हमारा 7-8 बजे दर्शन था टोकन टिकट में। एंड ड्यू टू दिस पर्टिकुलर सेलिब्रिटी वाला, है ना, हु हैव एंटर्ड इनटू दिस पर्टिकुलर टेंपल, वो हमारा दर्शन टाइम जो 7-8 के बीच में था, हो सकता है कभी भी 2 घंटे लेट हो, दैट इज एक्सेप्टेबल, बट 6-7 घंटे लेट हुआ। एंड वो 6-7 घंटे लेट क्यों हुआ? इट इज बिकॉज दिस प्राइड हैज गिवन, this particular pride has given produced more socially valuable things and that too much। मुझे आया गुस्सा एंड मैं था दिमाग खराब। मैं गया पुलिस वाले के पास, बोला भाई इतना लेट क्यों? पुलिस वाले ने बोला भाई सेलिब्रिटी आए तो उसको अंदर जाना भेजना पड़ेगा। तो मैं तो इतना दिमाग खराब हुआ, इतना गाली दिया ना, कौन सा सेलिब्रिटी है, हु द हेल इज सेलिब्रिटी, हम भी सेलिब्रिटी है, तुम कौन सा सेलिब्रिटी, मतलब ऐसा मेरा दिमाग में जो भी आया वो गाली दिया। फिर पुलिस वाले ने बोला अभी शांत हुआ, चलो अब दर्शन करके जाओ। मतलब ही इज ऑल्सो इन दैट पर्टिकुलर स्टेट ऑफ रिसेंटमेंट, है ना। दैट्स व्हाई इन सम ऑफ द टेंपल्स ये वीवीआईपी कल्चर बंद कर दिए थे। हाँ भाई, प्राइम मिनिस्टर आए तो चलो भाई चल जाता है, प्राइम मिनिस्टर है, टाइम नहीं है भाई, देश का रक्षण करना है। प्राइम मिनिस्टर अगर आ रहा है तो चलो भाई मोदी साहब के लिए एक 4-5 घंटे रुक जाए, बिकॉज ही हैज डेडिकेटेडली गिवन समथिंग टू द नेशन, ये ठीक है। यार फिल्म सेलिब्रिटी आए हमें रोक दिए, ये पागलपंती है ना। सो मोर सोशली वैल्यूएबल थिंग्स, रेस्पेक्ट, है ना, ये झुकावट जो होता है, मुझे बहुत गुस्सा आता है। पॉलिटिशियंस जब आते हैं ना, लोकल एमएलए एमपी, मेरा घर के पास में हुआ था, दिस इज वन केस स्टडी। एमएलए साहब आए थे, है ना, कुछ प्रॉब्लम था, ड्रेनेज इश्यू था, एमएलए साहब सॉल्व करने आए थे। तो हमारा बगल में जो ओनर था, घर का मालिक था, सो ही गेट रेंट ऑफ 2 लाख to 3 लाख पर मंथ। बेवकूफ था, एमएलए आते पाव चूरा था, मेरा दिमाग पूरा खराब। मैंने बोला सोशली वैल्यूएबल थिंग्स टू मच, तो आई लॉस्ट रेस्पेक्ट टुवर्ड्स एमएलए। एमएलए से मुझे बात करना था, सर ये प्रॉब्लम हर बार हो रहा है तो प्लीज गिव अस द फाइनल सॉल्यूशन। हर बार आप आ रहे हो पैच वर्क डाल के जा रहे हो, तो हर बार यही बारिश की मौसम में यही हो रहा है, ये मुझे बात करना था। जब इसने ज्यादा सोशल रेस्पेक्ट दिया, मेरा दिमाग खराब, एंड ये जो रिसेंट था, क्लियर, दैट स्टार्टेड डेवलपिंग ऑन मी। आर यू गेटिंग दिस पॉइंट? Pride seeks respect. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Are you getting this? So do people without valued skills also show pride? इसका बहुत एग्जाम्पल्स है इंडिया में, पॉलिटिशियंस बड़े बड़े एग्जाम्पल्स है इसका। Someone holding a position of power displays pride as they feel entitled to better treatment from their community despite not having achieved anything good. अपना राहुल गांधी भाई है ना, इसने ना फ्रीडम स्ट्रगल में पार्टिसिपेट किया। हो सकता है इसका जो प्रीवियस जनरेशन है, इंदिरा गांधी मैडम ने, है ना, राजीव गांधी, है ना, ये सो कॉल्ड गांधी जो बोलते हैं, गांधी फैमिली से है ना। सोनिया गांधी भी थोड़ा बहुत किए होंगे यार, ऐसा नहीं कि शी हैज नॉट बिकम द टॉप 10 पावरफुल लेडीज इन द वर्ल्ड, बट भाई साहब ने क्या किया, है ना, भाई साहब ने ऐसा कुछ नहीं किया। भारत जोड़ो यात्रा, क्या पता चला भाई भारत जोड़ो यात्रा से? सो पीपल, इसके पास ना बात करने की टेक्निक है ना कुछ स्कीम को एनालिसिस करने की टेक्निक है, कुछ भी नहीं है, बट स्टिल हैव प्राइड। So someone holding a position of power displays pride as they feel entitled to better treatment from community despite not having achieved anything good or do not have the means to be valued. So this kind of situation generally, जब भी स्टेट का जो एल्डरली चीफ मिनिस्टर would die, immediately that particular political party, in lieu of showing respect to that particular leader who have died, tends to make the next hierarchical person to get into that power. एग्जाम्पल, वाईएस राजशेखर रेड्डी जी मरे थे, जगन मोहन रेड्डी जो था, he was offered with this chief minister. So वाईएस जगन मोहन रेड्डी earlier, अब की बात नहीं कर रहा हूं, 2009 में he was first time he has become MP. So despite of not having valued skills, still he has given up that particular pride. So the sense of pleasure, satisfaction. But in course of time, agar ab Jagan Mohan Reddy ko dekhe 14-15 years down the line, he has improved a lot in learning the politics, learning the administration, serving the people, good governance skills. But तब का जो बात था वो अलग था, है ना? So when this particular people who are undervalued or without valued skills, they come to power, है ना? So we shall have that particular resentment. It shall produce anger and aggression, resentment from the people. Example बताता हूँ, रोहन गवास्कर, है ना, क्रिकेटर था सुनील गवास्कर का. ये जब टीम में आया, लोगों को इतना गुस्सा लगा, लाइक भाई who the hell is, है ना? So he did not had any skill, still have given the prime position in that particular spot, है ना? अभी अर्जुन तेंदुलकर है, डिस्पाइट ही इज वेरी यंगर, ही विल लर्न मे वेरियस थिंग्स. सन ऑफ सचिन तेंदुलकर, विदाउट ऑक्शन कुछ भी नहीं है, डायरेक्ट सीधा मुंबई इंडियन, है ना? So reaction of public is understandably negative in this particular situation. तो ये pride ज्यादा दिन नहीं चलेगा. So people who have this without valued skills, clear, they are not given pride. टीचिंग कम्युनिटी में देखो, यूट्यूब में बहुत सारे मिलेंगे आपको, है ना? विदाउट नोइंगली और अननोइंगली दे टीच ऑल द बुलशिट, है ना? सो इनिशियली ड्यू टू देयर स्कोप अप, आई हैव सीन मेनी वीडियोस बाय यूट्यूबर्स, बेस कंटेंट से भी ज्यादा, मतलब द कोर कंटेंट से भी ज्यादा एक्सटर्नल चीज पे ज्यादा ध्यान देते. लाइक करो, शेयर करो, भाई पहले एक बार बोल दो वीडियो में, लास्ट में एक बार बोल दो आपका मार्केटिंग करना है, ठीक है, बट इन बिटवीन they give us some idiotic things, idiotic examples in this particular aspect, and these kind of undervalued people, they never get pride. They might get pride for a temporary time, but for a longer run we won't expect this particular pride, because experiencing this particular pride, higher status in the social hierarchy, it shall produce anger and aggression, resentment from the people for sure. So understandably it shall be very negative as such. Are you getting this point, everyone? So there is a saying in Bible, clear, वैसे मैं उतना ज्यादा बाइबल को नहीं जानता हूँ, as I don't follow this particular Christianity, but मेरा friends follow करते हैं. So उसमें बोला है कि like there's a pride before fall, है ना? So it means that fall of an every individual is preceded by this particular pride. That's the reason why आप अगर history में जाके देखेंगे, who have reached this particular zenith phase, है ना, they have fallen. तो इसका मतलब pride अगर आप ऐसा जा रहे हो, that leads to fall in this particular bunch. अगर यही पे रुकना है, you have to put constant efforts. ये जाना is effort, and ये नीचे गिरना is very easy. So the time which you might have taken to reach that zenith spot, उतना टाइम नहीं लगेंगे नीचे गिरने में, है ना? So there is a pride before fall. So there is a pride through achieving good things, but pride can also come from being powerful and intimidating. So forcefully, intimidation से ये pride ला सकते हैं. Like generally politicians, they generally do it during the election campaigns. पैसे देके forcefully, है ना, pride है बोल के दिखाने की कोशिश करते हैं. जनरली पीपल वुड बी गिवन 100 रुपी 200 रुपी नोट और 500 रुपए की नोट, बिरयानी पैकेट देंगे, बियर बॉटल दे देंगे. सो बाय दिस इंटिमिडेटिंग सिचुएशन they generally tend to achieve pride, but pride can also achieve through by doing good things, like example मदर टेरेसा, है ना, एपीजे अब्दुल कलाम, अन्ना हजारे, अपना भाई अरविंद केजरीवाल. सी अरविंद केजरीवाल का डिफरेंट ही स्टोरी है, कहाँ है, शायद जेल में है, बेल में रिलीज हुआ, पता नहीं मुझे. बट सी he has did good things in his particular life career. ऐसा नहीं कि that actually has given him pride and the seat of Delhi. He has become the chief minister, just he has contributed to the good things which has given him the pride like situation. Okay, तो ये situations है. So this is regarding with the pride. Hope you have enjoyed this pride lecture. Shall we move to greed? People who are live, please like this video, share this video, share this live, share this recording videos, so that it goes into the market as much as it can, so that it would help the needy as such. Okay. अभी बात आते हैं greed, and just we were speaking regarding with the greed, है ना, pride है, तो obviously greed is one such thing, so which has been defined by different aspects. Sociologists define किया इसको, anthropologists, psychologists have defined him, but Marcel Zeilenberg, clear, according to him, the evolutionary biology sees greed as a way to increase your chances of survival. ये बहुत बड़ा optimistic statement है. This is an optimistic statement. Evolutionary biology sees greed as a way, clear, to increase your chances of survival. इसका मतलब ये बोल रहा है कि like ये greed अगर है, then only the chances of survival in the present society or future societies would be there. So insatiable desire for more, ये basic definition था. So this is Google definition where I have took it from Google. Google से लिया था. It's an insatiable desire for more, for people wanting to acquire more than they need. So चाहे वो materialistic हो या non materialistic हो, clear. So materialistic content में अगर greed है, it means you want to survive yourself and your future generations. अगर non materialistic greed हो, so that is your mindset which you are thinking up with, clear. But religions का perspective अगर आप देखेंगे, evolutionary biology का अगर perspective you calculate, it sees greed as a way to the increase your chances of survival in this particular context. But religions जो हैं, as the perspectives which they feel, they condemn this greed, because if you are greedy, you hurt others. So religion is saying that greedy is a sin, and if you condemn greed, so religions generally condemn greed because it is, if you are greedy, it is going to hurt others. But this is an outright statement which religions give. See, greedy is condemned by religion because it doesn't keep a fair society or equitable society. yahan tak theek hai, but it is hurting others. It doesn't give a straightforward opinion, so it is very subjective in nature. Why? Because see, if I am greedy of earning more and more, so if I am not intentionally hurting someone else, see for example, अगर एक इंस्टीट्यूट में मैं ज्योग्राफी पढ़ा रहा हूँ, पॉलिटिकल साइंस पढ़ा रहा हूँ, हिस्ट्री भी पढ़ा रहा हूँ, एसे भी पढ़ा रहा हूँ, एथिक्स भी पढ़ा रहा हूँ, तो ये ग्रीडी है. So this greediness, I am making it for my chances of survival, and in this I am not wantedly hurting anyone as such. But in any other case, without knowingly, if some others are hurting because of that, that is not in my particular zone, where because मुझे grow होना is what I would be thinking just, है ना. इस ये जो growing phase में, self esteemed phase में, if I am following this greedy nature, if it is hurting others, it falls under a different zone. Okay, so that's why the statement which has been given by these particular religions in seeing the greed is not completely true, or is not completely up to the mark as such. Okay, and some people from the society, they define greed as also harming others, but we believe it is a merely a byproduct of being greedy. See, हम greed इसीलिए बन रहा है कि like साला उसको hurt करो. Is this a situation that we are becoming greedy, that we want to hurt that particular individual? No. That particular hurting, we believe it as a byproduct. Matlab others are being hurt as a byproduct of the work which I am doing. For example, if we are constructing a road, है ना, वो road अगर, or if we are constructing a dam, है ना, and due to the construction of dam, let's say if the in and around surrounding villages are being submerged, so obviously people would be rehabilitated to some other location. So what does it imply? Does it imply that government want to be greedy? है ना, वो कंस्ट्रक्शन का बाई प्रोडक्ट है. Are you getting this point? So if I am greedy, the hurting of other individuals might be a byproduct of it, not a direct product, or it is not a destination. Greed doesn't mean that you have to hurt others, but in any the other sense, greed might contribute towards the byproduct of hurting as such. Clear? So greed might lead to byproduct, that is hurting others. And we found that greedy people are oblivious to others. Clear? What do you mean by these oblivious? Oblivious. Clear? They doesn't care. Oblivious का मतलब क्या है? They doesn't care. They think about their particular personality. They doesn't care as such. तो oblivious का definition एक बार क्या दिए हैं exactly, we will check it out. मुझे तो इतना पता है, lacking remembrance, memory of mindful attention, lacking active conscious knowledge or awareness. हाँ वही है. So lacking remembrance or having awareness. So we found that greedy people are oblivious. मतलब they doesn't know because of the actions in progressive nature that some other person are being hurt. They doesn't have this particular instance. मतलब वो lack of that particular information रहेंगे. So that is oblivious in nature. So views on greed, different views have given. तो ये views आपको essay में GS paper 2, 3, 4 and your sociology optional है ना, and anthropology optional में and psychology optional में, geography optional में resource crunches, energy crisis due to greediness है ना. So agriculture में due to greed है ना, farmers are committing suicide. तो ऐसे में लिखने का chances है. तो you can best ये जो quotations जो हैं, this you can write in essay paper 4 very effectively है ना, but you can use them in paper 2 and 3 as well. So religions view them as bad, ये तो सबको पता है. कैपिटलिज्म जो है ये ग्रीडनेस को डिफरेंट तरीके से बता रहे हैं है ना. दे आर नॉट सेइंग इट एज बैड. ग्रीड बैड नहीं है कैपिटलिज्म को. दैट्स व्हाई कैपिटलिस्टिक सोसाइटीज जो है दे जनरली हैव डिफरेंट चैलेंजेस, ऑपोजिट अप्रोचेस विद दिस रिलीजन. दे हैव सम सॉर्ट ऑफ चेंज्ड दैट डेफिनेशन ऑफ ग्रीड, दैट इज बाय नॉर्मलाइजिंग व्यूज ऑफ अर्निंग मनी. ये बोल रहे कि लाइक ग्रीड से पैसे कमा सकते हैं है ना, and becoming very rich, chasing money, increasing standard of living, taking care of their family effectively, giving them bonds and binds. Are you getting this? तो ये कैपिटलिस्टिक व्यू है. रिलीजन बोल रहे हैं outrightly they are bad. Does making profit is greed? Profit making is greed. Oh, what you will do with that profit defines does it is greed or not. What you are going to do with that particular profit, it is going to define that it is greed or not. सोशलिस्ट सोसाइटल व्यू देखो थोड़ा, ये तो नेगेटिव है. सो सोसाइटल व्यू रिलीजन से कॉम्पनसेट करते हैं. इकोनॉमिस्ट व्यू वेरी पॉजिटिवली, कैपिटलिस्ट एंड इकोनॉमिस्ट. ये देखो भाई, एवोल्यूशनरी बायोलॉजिस्ट टू अग्री दैट ग्रीड इज गुड बिकॉज बाय बीइंग ग्रीडी दिस इज द वे टू इंक्रीज द चांसेस ऑफ सर्वाइवल, जो मैं ऑलरेडी आपको बताया था. philosophers are often negative. तो philosophers, sociologist, religions, they have negative word towards greed, but capitalist, economist and evolutionary biologist, they have positive intimidation regarding with this particular greed. Okay, सो डिस्पोजिशनल ग्रीड, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कीवर्ड है डिस्पोजिशनल ग्रीड। तो इससे जो वर्ड बनेगा डिस्पोजिशनल एंग्री का एग्जाम्पल देके बताता हूं आपको। डिस्पोजिशनल एंग्जियस, है ना। सो डिस्पोजिशनल एंग्री का मतलब है people whoever would be angry, chances are there they tend to become or be angry for most of the times, or people who tend to be anxious, they tend to be anxious for most of the time. एग्जाम्पल, विराट कोहली को आप देखे ग्राउंड में, कभी कूल कभी नहीं रहेगा बंदा, सीधा एग्रेसिव मोड, चाहे भले विराट कोहली बैटिंग कर रहे हो, चाहे भले विराट कोहली फील्डिंग कर रहे हो, इफ विराट कोहली इज बॉलिंग और इफ समवन एल्स, उमेश यादव विकेट लिया, विराट कोहली इज सेलिब्रेटिंग अ लॉट. Some other person has, Anuj Rawat has caught ball, caught out हुआ, विराट कोहली is celebrating. मतलब people who tend to be deemed aggressive, they tend to be aggressive. इसको हम dispositional aggressiveness बोलते हैं. In the similar way, greed which is there, that is also dispositional in nature. That is, once you fall in this particular vicious cycle of being greed, you shall always be greed and your character becomes greed in nature. तो ये डिस्पोजिशनल का वर्ड थीफ के लिए भी सेम है. एक बार एक बंदा ने चोरी किया, हर बार चोरी करने का चांसेस है. एक बार एक बंदा ने नॉन वेजिटेरियन खाया तो नॉन वेजिटेरियन की आदत पड़ जाएगी. एक बार एक बंदा ने दारू पीना शुरू किया तो दारू कंटिन्यूअसली होगा. तो ये ग्रीड जो है, it is also in this dispositional way. Clear? So greed involves being greedy every time. इसको हम dispositional greed बोलते हैं. Are you getting this point? Clear? तो अभी ये दिमाग खराब करने वाली चीज है that greed is good, bad or neutral. So हमें लेना है भाई this particular stand. पहले ही बता रहा हूं ताकि आपका दिमाग जो है क्लियर, वो that doesn't go here and there as such. During the French Revolution, is greed was the main cause? Yes. French Revolution, जयंत पूछ रहा है कि like greed was the main cause. Greed which resulted into feudal character. And feudal character is not only because of greed, that might be accompanied by various causes, but greed when it is added, we shall find extreme feudal character, and this extreme feudal character has created French Revolution. Because when this extreme feudal character came into picture, then it was a class conflict between class 1, class 2, class 3. The upper class, bourgeoisie class and the working class. So the resentment jo hua, that particular resentment was the subclause attached with this particular greed. Are you getting, Jayant? Clear? So greed is good or bad or neutral? तो पहले ही बता रहा हूं, आपका न्यूट्रल माइंडसेट रखो. सो डियोंटोलॉजिकल वर्सेस कंसिक्वेंटलिस्ट. अगर आप देखेंगे जनरली एनी पर्टिकुलर सब्सटेंस को, अगर एनी पर्टिकुलर एस्पेक्ट और इमोशन को, we calculate it on two bases. One is on basis of deontological, one is on the basis of like consequentialist. For example, if deontological definition बोलता हूं, ये मैंने गूगल से लिया था directly. So this particular aspect would come in ethics. It's an ethical theory that says actions are good or bad according to a clear set of rules. For example, in our particular society, in our particular society there are certain rules and regulations, है ना. रोड पे किस करना इज एथिकली रॉन्ग, बट रोड पे पेशाब करना इज एक्सेप्टेबल. तो ऑन बेसिस ऑफ सेट ऑफ रूल्स विच वी हैव, on basis of set of rules which we have, we define that particular act as good or bad. So there are some prerequisite set of rules which are there. On this particular prerequisite rules, we have defined that particular action as good or bad. So if we are defining beyond the grid as set of rules, we are defining the grid on deontological basis. But if we are defining any particular aspect with the consequences, matlab because of any action, if we are saying this action as grid or not, the consequences which are being created because of that particular action, either we can call it as greed. Generally greed is good because it enables economies to develop by harnessing people's individual innovations and group of effort, है ना. So this is the consequence. Greed is bad when what is being extracted overpowers the thing that are sustainable. So deontological means the set of rules which it has. When it makes this particular set of rules to be broken, then it is considered as greed. But on the basis of consequences, like this particular greed is contributing to economy, the consequence is positive in nature. Despite the action might be negative, the consequence have become positive. So hence it is not considered as greed in that particular sense. Clear? So greed is good in that sense. Greed is bad when what is being extracted overpowers the thing that are sustainable. Agar like green revolution ये greedy था. Extracting more from that particular land, green revolution greed था, है ना. But इसमें क्या है, green revolution has become bad just because it has crossed this particular sustainable methods of practices as such. Are you getting this point? For individuals, I think greed is good, but for collective society, greed is bad, and for nation, it would be neutral. Is this perception correct? For that nation, it depends that is this particular greed crossing this deontology, or is this greed giving negative consequences. If it is not giving negative consequences, obviously greed is not considered bad, it is considered good. If the greed which you are doing, it is not breaking the set of rules and regulations, then it is good. If it is breaking, it is bad. Are you getting this? तो ग्रीड में अगर आप देखेंगे, सो राहुल ओका ने इसको दिया है. सो हैज ग्रीड evolved in the recent past? Yes. बिल गेट्स, अगर आप देखेंगे ग्रीड को अलग अलग तरीके से फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम चेंज करने लगे लोग. एग्जाम्पल बताता हूं, लाइक बिल गेट्स वॉज हेटेड फॉर मेकिंग माइक्रोसॉफ्ट विंडोज प्रोग्राम द डिफॉल्ट वन ऑन पर्सनल कंप्यूटर्स. सो माइक्रोसॉफ्ट विंडोज प्रोग्राम जो है वो डिफॉल्ट बनने के लिए बिल गेट्स वो 2002-3 में, clear, he was hated. The same Bill Gates, clear, when he was accepted positively for his charity which has did in 2005-6. So this character of greediness would evolve from society to society, time to time, place to place, on the basis of thinking. So the idea of generosity का मतलब क्या है? A willingness to give help or support, especially more than is usually or expected. So Bill Gates से उतना ज्यादा expect नहीं किए थे that he would be that generous in nature, but as he was no more generous, that greediness character of Bill Gates have vanished completely. So it is an actual old anthropological concept where you can gain social capital by giving it away. So if you are earning money, like Ambani को example लेते हैं, if you are earning money, more and more money, by in a legal ways or illegal ways, वो मुझे पता नहीं है. If you are earning money more and more, तो वो greed बनेगा, है ना. But if you are following this particular generosity, है ना, you will attain social capital. एग्जाम्पल बताता हूं. अंबानी वॉज कॉल्ड एज ग्रीड until अंबानी का वो बड़ा छोटा बेटा, unless and until he has shown that Vantara. तो बहुत सारे टीवी चैनल्स ने इसको कवर किया, which is an elephant artificial forestry zone where they are protecting these particular elephants by giving food, है ना. So these particular greedy natures under the generosity they can convert as a social capital by giving it away. The idea of generosity is actually a very old anthropological concept where you can gain social capital by this particular giving it away. So generosity can change this particular greed. इसीलिए मैं बोला था. And when this greed is changed, when you earn social capital, you can earn pride. वैसे without this social capital being greed also, you will have pride, but विदाउट वैल्यूएशन, है ना. आगे साफ बोलेंगे, पीछे गाली देंगे. दिस इज व्हाट जनरली वुड हैपन. ओके, सो इंडियन बिजनेस एलाइट्स का तो देखो, ये इज दैट दे आर सम ऑफ द लीस्ट फिलैंथ्रोपिक्स, क्लियर, एक्सेप्ट द टाटा, है ना. सो अभी अभी अंबानी को वही लिस्ट में ले रहा हूं. वंतारा देखने के बाद आई हैव चेंज्ड माय माइंड, थोड़ा बहुत माइंड चेंज किया. तो टाटा कंपनीज एंड ये जो अंबानी कंपनीज है, अभी दे आर showing this particular generosity, so they are gaining this particular social capital. Might be that particular generosity and development of social capital might be an investment for them, that people tend to have a positive character on them and tend to buy their particular products more and more. वो मुझे पता नहीं है. Like the social capital is a weapon of investment which they are using for their further development. But as of now they have respect. But most of the Indian businessmen, they are least philanthropic. So greed sources are higher for the Chinese. Indian का छोड़ो, Chinese का तो और ज्यादा है than the Dutch and Americans, because in these two particular countries ये जो self motto driven है ना. See, generally in nations where, in certain historical context where nation जब build हुआ तब जाके state बना, तो उस particular entities में, like अगर आप जर्मन्स को देखो, पहले नेशन बना उसके बाद में स्टेट. इंडिया में क्या हुआ, पहले स्टेट बना, उसको करते करते नेशन बनाए, है ना. राइट नाउ ऑल्सो सिल्स द स्टेट ऑफ माइंड, अपना माइंड जो एग्जिस्ट करता है उसमें ये स्टेट में क्या है, once the development of nation happens, then the state comes into picture. This will have the prevalence of nationalism, तो ऑटोमेटिक नेशनलिज्म होगा इसमें. बट ये स्टेट्स जो नेशन बना है, इसमें वी शैल एक्सपेक्ट स्टिल एग्जिस्टेंस ऑफ रीजनलिज्म. इसमें हम अभी भी रीजनलिज्म एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं. सो इंडिया इस पर्टिकुलर एंटिटी में आते हैं. इंडिया हैज बिकम ए स्टेट बट इट इज स्टिल ट्राइंग टू बिकम ए नेशन, है ना. नेशन इज नॉट डिफाइंड थ्रू पॉलिटिकल बाउंड्रीज, इट इज वननेस विच वी शेयर इन ए कॉमन, है ना. सो इफ यू आर सिटिंग इन इंग्लैंड ऑल्सो, अगर इंडिया इंग्लैंड मैच खेल रहे हैं तो वी आर विल नॉट सपोर्ट इंग्लैंड. इफ यू आर वर्किंग फॉर सम यूएस बेस्ड कंपनी, स्टिल वी सपोर्ट इंडिया. तो वो नेशनलिज्म फीलिंग है. तो स्टेट बन के नेशन बना, दैट्स व्हाई स्टिल रीजनलिज्म कॉन्सेप्ट एग्जिस्ट हो रहा है. सो इंडिया एंड यहाँ पे चाइना जो है, इन दिस पॉपुलेशन इज वेरी हाई. So first of all, they tend to find out what is good for their family, then they contribute. बाकी में क्या होता है, जहां पे नेशनलिज्म प्रिविलेंस है, फर्स्ट दे विल कंट्रीब्यूट टू द कंट्री. सो व्हेन कंट्री इज गुड, अगर यूक्रेन में अभी आप देख रहे हैं ये नेशनलिज्म का फ्लरिशिंग चल रहा है. सो वंस द कंट्री इज गुड, देन ऑटोमेटिकली वी वुड बी गुड. बट इन एन आइडिया वेयर स्टेट फॉलोड बाय नेशन, देयर फर्स्ट हम अच्छे रहेंगे, हमारा फैमिली, फर्स्ट अवर फैमिली ग्रोस. तो हमारा फैमिली ग्रो होने के बाद हमारा कॉलोनी, कॉलोनी के बाद एरिया, टाउन, डिस्ट्रिक्ट, हमारा डिस्ट्रिक्ट बोल के आएगा, फिर आएगा हमारा स्टेट, है ना. फिर आएगा साउथ इंडिया, नॉर्थ इंडिया, ईस्ट इंडिया, वेस्ट इंडिया, नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया, नॉर्थ ईस्ट इंडिया, नॉर्थ वेस्टर्न, ये सब आएंगे, है ना. सो इंडिया एंड इसमें क्या है, ये फिलैंथ्रोपिक नेचर का एटीट्यूड नहीं है. that the amount which we are earning, why don't we reinvest in the society for the welfare being, you know? So greed scores are shall be higher in those areas where populations shall be high. So greed is insatiable desire for more and dissatisfaction with not having enough. तो इसमें दो कॉइन है. So it's a twofold definition. So on one hand, desire for more, अगर मेरे पास 10 रुपए है तो 100 रुपए का जो डिजायर है, ऑलरेडी 100 रुपए हैं जो ऑलरेडी मुझे सेटिस्फाई करने की चीज है, बट हैविंग एनफ, अगर मेरे पास कार है फिर और 10 करने की मांग है ना, वो ग्रीड कंटेक्स्ट में आएगा. इंडिया में दिस इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. उसका फादर, उसका नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन, नेक्स्ट जनरेशन. तो ये ग्रीड पॉलिटिक्स में भी देख सकते हैं आप, इकोनॉमीज में, बिजनेसेस में, पॉलिटिक्स में, and in variant aspects you would be seeing. So on the one hand, the always wanting more part, and on the other hand not being happy with what you have. So हर बार जो है उससे satisfy नहीं होंगे, clear, उससे ज्यादा and उससे भी ज्यादा. That is what the greed context is. So greed is associated with accepting bribes more often. तो जनरली एक केस स्टडी है, आई हैव लिफ्टेड इट फ्रॉम सोशियोलॉजिकल एस्पेक्ट्स ऑफ ब्राइबिंग करप्शंस. सो ग्रीड, पीपल हु जनरली हैव दिस पर्टिकुलर कैरेक्टर, दे जनरली टेक अप दिस पर्टिकुलर ब्राइब्स, है ना, जितना उसका सैलरी आ रहा है. सो रिसेंटली मैंने ये सुना, लाइक इन द स्टेट ऑफ तेलंगाना, नॉर्थर्न तेलंगाना में, सो असिस्टेंट कमिश्नर ऑफ पुलिस था, है ना, उसका सैलरी समवेयर अराउंड 96,000 है. मैंने थोड़ा बहुत रिसर्च किया. ही वॉज एक्सेप्टिंग 10,000 ब्राइब, है ना, जो है उससे संतोष नहीं है भाई. एटलीस्ट ये 1 करोड़ है तो भी मैं मानता था, बट 10,000 ब्राइब एक्सेप्ट करते करके पकड़ गया. सो जनरली पीपल हु हैव ग्रीड, जनरली आप कॉन्स्टेबल्स को देखो जो ट्रैफिक सिग्नल्स पे खड़े होंगे. अभी तो ये सिस्टम नहीं है, अर्लियर तो ये 50-100 रुपए का चलता था. तो एक दिन क्या हुआ, ट्रैफिक कांस्टेबल ने मुझे पकड़ा, मेरे जेब में 30-40 रुपीस थे. तो उसने मेरे से मांग किया 200 रुपए का, बट मैंने बोला भाई 200 रुपए नहीं है, मेरे पास 30 रुपए है. एटलीस्ट मैंने सोचा 30 रुपए का मुझे, लाइक एज आई हैव सेड 30 रुपीस, एटलीस्ट ही विल लीव मी. बट उसने नहीं, वो 30 रुपीस भी लिया. मतलब पीपल हु आर ग्रीड, तो वो तो ब्राइब कोई भी कंटेक्स्ट में एक्सेप्ट करने के लिए रेडी है, क्योंकि दिस इज नॉट वैल्यूड, है ना. इफ समवन इज गिविंग मी 100 रुपीज फॉर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, तो वो चाहे भले जितने भी नोट हो, आई विल बी टेकिंग इट. मतलब ये ग्रीडी नेचर है. मैं लेता हूं, मतलब मैंने लेता हूं, बट इन जनरल इफ समवन इज गिविंग यू 100 रुपीज, इट्स जस्ट सिंपली लाइक द गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स which have to be reached to those particular people due to the greediness, people who doesn't fall under the category to take those particular aspects. Example, तेलंगाना में जो डबल बेडरूम दे रहे हैं, who are not eligible, फिर भी ले रहे हैं ग्रीड की वजह से. ऑलरेडी 2 मकान हैं, they have their own building, still they are taking this particular double bedroom. तो ये greedy people generally they indulge in this particular bribes and with unethical behavior. क्लियर, सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट कुड ऑल्सो लीड टू सच थिंग्स, बट मतलब ये ग्रीड की वजह से ब्राइब नहीं ले सकते. देयर इज वन मोर रीजन, सेल्फ इंटरेस्ट की वजह से. बट ग्रीड इज एन एक्सट्रीम फॉर्म ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर सेल्फ इंटरेस्टेड बिहेवियर. And philosophically, the two are sometimes equated, but empirically we can spot the differences between self-interest and greed. But I call this particular self-interested behavior, इसका जो extreme form होता है, that we can consider it as a greed. Are you getting this point? People who are live. Greed and gift, they don't have differences in the society as such. So studies suggest greed correlates with household income and not with the personal income. है ना, generally if you could see, I have studied a case study. There is a particular aspect like if I am greedy, clear, if I am greedy, so मान लेते कि like मैं अगर 1 लाख रुपए कमा रहा हूं, so obviously whom should I marry? A person X, Y, person X with 0 income, person X with 1 lakh income or 50,000 income. Whom should I marry? People who are alive, please give the answer. If I am having 1 lakh rupee salary, whom should I marry? Person with X zero income, Y with 1 lakh income. Please give your answer. Please give your answer. Please give your answer. So obviously मुझे marry करना है person who have zero income, but due to self benefits, self esteemed or self interest, or to have a better standard of living, और जो भी है, I will marry that particular person who have 1 lakh salary. The reason behind it is the greed which I have. है ना? So that might be having an impact from the society, like society which is there, that might have that particular aspect, like that might expect that you have this money, है ना, बोथ आर वर्किंग, ये पैसे जो हैं उतना चाहिए जीने के लिए, तो सोसाइटी में जो स्टैंडर्ड ऑफ लिविंग इंक्रीज हो रहा है डे बाय डे, एंड दैट इज मेकिंग दिस पर्टिकुलर ग्रीडीनेस टू हैपन. दैट्स व्हाई these greedy people, rather than focusing upon this particular personal income, they generally try to focus upon household income. That अगर मैं मेरा वाइफ किया, जॉब किया, सो वी आर गोइंग टू अर्न 2 लाख, ये 1 लाख में लाइक ही इज नॉट सेटिस्फाइड. एग्जाम्पल बताता हूं. फादर, वाइफ, सन. सन का जो वाइफ है, जो डॉटर इन लॉ, सन्स वाइफ, सन. जनरली फादर हैज 50,000 रुपीज जॉब, सन हैज 1 लाख रुपए का जॉब. वाइफ, जो सन का वाइफ है, इफ शी हैज 30,000 रुपीज जॉब, है ना, चलो भाई मैरी कर लिए, तो इस पर्टिकुलर सोसाइटी में, हाँ भाई जयंत, नन मैरी करो तो लव मैरिज कर लो. मैं ये बोल रहा हूं, इन दिस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन, है ना, कैन फादर एक्सपेक्ट मनी एज फादर हैज made his son to get into education, तो all the life father ने son को support किया, and son has prepared well, उसने पढ़ाई अच्छा कर लिया, है ना, तो son से अगर 1 लाख रुपए देने, मतलब ये अगर गलत कर रहा है पैसे से, सही कर रहा है वो अलग बात है, बट can father expect this dictator nature after this son got married? Can father expect this 1 lakh rupees to be given to him? मतलब हो सके son might have given this 1 lakh rupees to father before his marriage, but can this father expect this particular 1 lakh rupees? मतलब फादर का एटीट्यूडनल नेचर वैसा हो कि लाइक सब लोग मेरा बात सुनना चाहिए, आई एम द बिग पर्सनैलिटी इन द होम, मैं घर का बड़ा हूं, मैं जितना तक जिंदा हूं, तो वो जो सीरियल्स में दिखाते हैं वैसा रहना चाहिए, तो सन का सैलरी एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते कि नहीं? कैन दे एक्सपेक्ट और नॉट? दिस इज वन केस स्टडी. चलो भाई सन का एक्सपेक्ट कर लिया, देना नहीं देना इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन सन. एंड डज फादर लव चेंज ऑन हिज सन इफ ही इज नॉट गिविंग दिस मनी? दिस इज व्हाट अनकंडीशनल लव इज. दिस इज व्हाट अनकंडीशनल लव इज. ये केस है. चलो भाई सन का एक्सपेक्ट करे ना करे, सन दिए ना दिए, बट कैन दिस फादर एज सन्स वाइफ जो है, क्लियर, हु इज अ डॉटरली फिगर, कैन ही एक्सपेक्ट दिस 30,000 अमाउंट टू बी गिवन टू हिम, सो दैट, ठीक है भाई फादर पैसे लेके अच्छे ही करते होंगे, बट कैन ही एक्सपेक्ट दिस पर्टिकुलर एस्पेक्ट? ये इंडिविजुअलिज्म एंड कलेक्टिविज्म में डिफरेंसेस हो रहा है. दिस इज द रीजन व्हाई फैमिलीज आर सेग्रीगेटिंग. मैंने बहुत सारे ऐसा केस स्टडीज को देखा था. सो इन दिस पर्टिकुलर ग्रीडीनेस ऑल्सो, हाउसहोल्ड इनकम में भी देर आर पैरिटीज थ्रू विच देर फाइनली, मैं क्या बोल रहा हूं, दिस विल रिजल्ट इनटू एदर न्यूक्लियर फैमिली, है ना, अगर इफ दिस पर्टिकुलर लेडी डजंट सूट, है ना, टू द डिस्पैरिटीज विच आर हैपनिंग, दैट शैल लीड टू डिवोर्स. दैट शैल लीड टू डिवोर्स. ये चांसेस है सोसाइटी में अभी होने का. तो अभी ये फादर जो है ही हैव टू रैदर सपोर्ट हिज सन एंड सन्स वाइफ टू गो इन ए राइट पाथ। ये मुझे, मैं तो आउटकम इतना दे सकता हूं, बट बाकी इट चेंजेस फ्रॉम सिचुएशन टू सिचुएशन। तो हाउस होल्ड इनकम से जो ग्रीडी कैलकुलेट करते हैं, दे आर नॉट सेटिस्फाइड, बिकॉज मेल फीमेल का जो 1 लाख रुपए का इनकम है, दिस विल 100% क्रिएट ईगो क्लैशेस, है ना। इसमें इक्वालिटी का बात आएगा, है ना। अगर हो सकता है हस्बैंड अगर एक थप्पड़ मारे तो वाइफ भी उल्टा थप्पड़ मारेगी। सो मेल एंड फीमेल का जो एक्सपेंसेस है, इफ यू आर कैलकुलेटिंग दैट हाउस होल्ड इनकम, ऑब्वियसली द फैमिली और स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ न्यूक्लियर फैमिली डजंट मूव फर्दर, दिस इज फॉर श्योर, है ना। सो ईगो क्लैशेस बढ़ेंगे एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर ईगो क्लैशेस मूव्स फर्दर। वो ब्रेकअप कोई, दैट्स द रीजन एक्चुअली व्हाई मुझे वो लग रहा है, लाइक इन द प्रेजेंट सोसाइटी वी आर हैविंग दिस पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन, है ना। एंड ग्लूटनी जो है, क्लियर कंजम्पशन ऑफ मोर फूड व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड, इसको ग्लूटनी बोलते हैं। इट इज लाइक ग्रीड फॉर फूड, you can say that it is some form of greed, gluttony जो है, but some eat a lot, some eat less, तो this is not completely agreed, but it is very closer to greed. There is a relationship between greed and envy also, clear, the dissentment resentment जो है उसको envy बोलते हैं। So greed versus materialism, greed can be experienced for basically everything, है ना। मटेरियलिज्म कैन बी एक्सपीरियंस्ड ओनली फॉर मटेरियलिस्टिक एस्पेक्ट। वैसे लाइक एक बार क्या हुआ था, आई हैव बॉट ए कार, स्विफ्ट डिजायर कार मैंने लिया, माय फ्रेंड हैज टुक इट एंड उसने क्या किया, लाइक ही हैज मेड एन एक्सीडेंट। एंड उस पर्टिकुलर कार को जब एक्सीडेंट किया था, नया कार था, इट वाज ऑलमोस्ट 1 मंथ, सो ऑलमोस्ट आगे का जो बम्पर था वो पूरा उठ गया। सो माय फ्रेंड केम टू मी afraid of like what I would be scolding and all। मैंने बोला भाई इंश्योरेंस है, अभी तो हो गया, यू आर सेफ, इंश्योरेंस है, काम चला लेंगे इंश्योरेंस से। सो दिस इज नॉन मेटेरियलिस्टिक एटीट्यूड। अगर मैं बोलता लाइक तुम वैसा कैसा मेरा 10 लाख रुपए का कार ऐसा करते हो, तुम मुझे तुरंत 1 लाख रुपए दे दो, नहीं तो लाइक मैं पुलिस केस लगाऊंगा, ये मेटेरियलिस्टिक नेचर है। सो कार्ल मार्क्स हैव सेड मेटेरियलिस्टिक ड्रिवन सोसाइटीज के बारे में, Karl Marx have already commented the materialistic driven nature, materialistic aspects के बारे में ऑलरेडी बोला था materialistic societies में। तो ये greed भी उसमें आएगा, can be experienced basically for everything, but greed can be experienced for non materialistic aspect also, like sex के लिए greed हो सकता है, clear, people having lust they might have greed towards sex, or for partners, or for food, or for money, or for cars। ग्रीड फॉर फूड ऑलरेडी मैंने बोला था, ग्लूटनी, मनी का, मनी इज ऑल्सो नॉन मेटेरियलिस्टिक, कार इज मेटेरियलिस्टिक एज सच, बट सब नॉन मेटेरियलिस्टिक थिंग्स जो भी हैं उसके लिए भी ग्रीड हो सकते हैं। ग्रीडी पीपल ऑब्जेक्टिफाई देयर फ्रेंडशिप्स मोर, ये मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया सोसाइटी में। जो पीपल हु आर ग्रीडी एनफ, दिस पर्टिकुलर पीपल जो रिलेशंस है वो ऑब्जेक्टिफाई करेंगे, बट एज फ्रेंडशिप इज द क्लोजेस्ट रिलेशनशिप ऑन दिस अर्थ, so I have defined friendship here। what greedy people do is generally, for example, ये केस स्टडी देता हूं, if I find a leisure time, जो मैंने लिखा था यहां पे, so instead of thinking to spend that particular free time having a beer with friend or having a peg with friend and or sharing or having food biryani with friend and spending some time or watching a movie with friend, if I think like if I have to paint my house, if I call up my friend, है ना, so I need to paint my house, who can help me, they could be having very poor opportunistic friendship, having very ये opportunistic friendship है, ऐसा जो friendships है that can't sustain for longer aspect। मैंने एक बंदा था हमारे घर के पास में, whenever he used to have work, he used to call us, तो भाई हमारा घर शिफ्ट करना है, प्लीज हेल्प कर दो, एंड हमारा कार एक्सीडेंट हुआ, थोड़ा हेल्प कर दो, तो कुछ केस हुआ, थोड़ा हेल्प कर दो। एवरी टाइम जब हेल्प होता था he used to call us, and when every time when he used to शेयर समथिंग और गिव पार्टी, उसका घर में फंक्शन होता था तो हमें नहीं बुलाता था। तो अपॉर्चुनिटी का फ्रेंडशिप जो है, so that particular opportunistic friendships, clear, you can expect from this particular people, because they objectify and quantify the things, clear, rather than the quality friendship, they quantify these particular friendship. Rape cases which had happened is greed for sex, and इसमें this is more subjective in nature, greed for sex. इसमें rapes, prostitution, and prostitution में we have two angles. One angle is greed for sex, one angle is greed for money, है ना. तो ये रेप्स, एंड रेप्स में भी डायमेंशनल है. एक तो ग्रीड का सेक्स की वजह से रेप एक है, एक अनकॉन्शियस माइंडसेट में दारू पी के, है ना, वो एक है. So we have subjective nature in it. एक, we can't say it on a one statemental note. Okay. तो कमिंग टू लस्ट, जो हमारा सोसाइटी में आजकल चल रहा है. सो वेब सीरीज भी बहुत बना है इसके ऊपर, लस्ट के ऊपर. तो लव होगा तो लस्ट होगा, या लस्ट होगा तो लव होगा, देखेंगे. छोटा सा है. लस्ट हेलेन फिशर ने दिया है. लव, लस्ट, अटैचमेंट्स एंड आर द बेसिक ब्रेन सर्क्यूट्स. चाहे वो भले आपको लव हो, लस्ट हो, अटैचमेंट्स, दे आर द बेसिक ब्रेन सर्क्यूट्स. दे आर टू प्रिमिटिव एज अ सिस्टम and will never change as such. Clear. Three basic drives for mating and reproduction. Generally, many sociologists and psychologists, what they would be saying is, these particular sex, lust and attachments, है ना. एक तो sex drive and feelings of intense romantic love. Sex drive का मतलब जो पार्टनर को हम ढूंढेंगे to fulfill our biological need. Feelings of intense romantic love, we want to share some good happy mood feelings or success with those people. And feelings of deep attachment, like we try to find that particular person who tend to be with us in our good or and in negative situations. So ये three basic drives for mating and reproduction which are happening in the society. तो इसका डिफरेंस क्या है? सेक्स ड्राइव इज रन लार्जली बाय टेस्टोस्टेरोन. ये बहुत मूवीज में दिखाए हैं, क्लियर, इन बोथ मेन एंड वुमेन. जनरली ये सेक्स ड्रिवन जो हैं, which generally make up this mating and reproduction which are necessity for the society. The sex drive is run by this largely by testosterone, and romantic love is largely run by dopamine system, and feelings of deep attachment are run by oxytocin. And this oxytocin, generally people who meets with an accident, who generally loses the consciousness recognizing their closer people, they would be given this particular oxytocin as a drug. तो मतलब ये कुछ फॉर्मूला है, नियर क्लोजर टू दिस ऑक्सीटोसिन. तो ये ऑक्सीटोसिन सिस्टम को रिजुविनेट करने के लिए वो ड्रग देंगे, बिकॉज दे ओनली रिकॉग्नाइज दोस पर्टिकुलर पीपल हु हैव डीप अटैचमेंट. सो टू सम इट अप, दीस थ्री ब्रेन सिस्टम्स हैव evolved together to run our reproductive lives which are having as of now. So earlier people assumed that if you are romantically interested in someone, you are also sexually attracted, but that is not the case. Clear. So romantically, if I am interested with someone, see, if I want to date someone, it doesn't mean that I have to I am sexually attracted to you. I might have been share certain feelings where I can share it with you so that you would be in a stage of understanding. तो ये डेट, आजकल तो डेटिंग का मतलब यही हो रहा है कि लाइक भाई, डेटिंग का कॉमन मीनिंग हो गया सेक्स. पहला डेटिंग हुआ, सेकेंड डेटिंग हुआ, थर्ड डेटिंग में सेक्स, प्री मैरिटल सेक्स जो है, क्लियर, दैट हैज बिकम मोस्ट कॉमन इन द सोसाइटी. सो दिस पर्टिकुलर मतलब ही अलग है. इफ यू आर रोमांटिकली इंटरेस्टेड इन समवन, it doesn't mean that you are sexually attracted to that. Clear, that is not in the case. Clear. Religion has looked at this particular lust. People who don't want you romantically, only want to be sexually driven, wo in case of certain aspect of lust बोल सकते हैं, we can say that as part of lust. Religion on and often looks this particular lust as a sin 100%, है ना. So people might find someone sexually attractive but not have deeper emotions with them. Generally this particular case happens with this particular prostitutions, है ना. People might find someone sexually attractive who might have dressed up well, who might have like makeup वेकअप डाले होंगे, तो वो sexually attractive लग सकते, where they can have sexual intimidation with them but not the emotional connection with them. Okay, so then there are folks who fall in love but may not have a sexual desire, and that can change over time. Like for example, if you see a girl and if you start loving her, है ना, first infatuation होगा, infatuation, attraction, उसके बाद में धीरे धीरे when you start understanding the girl, तब love होगा, तब जाके मैरिज होगा, तब सेक्स, मतलब ये स्टेप बाय स्टेप प्रोसीजर हो सकता है. दैट्स व्हाई you might fall in love but not have a sexual desire to that particular woman. So a lot of people might experience quite high levels of sexual attraction in the beginning, but in course of time, which may modulate over time, and commitment might start very low but might increase over time also. So initially, generally after marriages, है ना, in Indian societies what would happen is, as if both have high sexual desires because of the peer group connection where they have grown up. So initially they might have high sexual desire, है ना, and slowly in course of time, when their particular vertebrates and when their particular sexual desires would be satisfied, slowly ये decrease होने का chances है. But in some cases, in the startup marriages, low sexual desires रहने का chances है, but moving further this sexual desires might come over into picture, है ना. So ये chances है, probabilities. सबको लस्ट नहीं बोल सकते, है ना. Some might be love, some might be lust in certain regards, but lust can become problematic from a societal or legal standpoint. If lust is interfering with your day-to-day life, only focusing upon sex, है ना, और कुछ नहीं है, तो वो लस्ट है. And at least if X is focusing upon Y to have a sex, तो ये है a regular requirement from a partner, clear, a biological need from a partner. But if X want to have a sex with Y, Z, A, B, C, and only having this particular sexual appeal with them, that is what's so called as lust. So legal point में अगर आप देखेंगे, societal point में ethically wrong है ये, ethically wrong and legally भी wrong, है ना. If lust is interfering with your day-to-day life, then it becomes problematic. Some or the other how you are going to face this particular problem. That's why religion says this particular lust as a sin. So love is motivated goal state. Generally अगर love का definition बोलते हैं, it's a motivated goal state where you desire union with another person. So that is the goal state in which you are there, where you desire union with another person, may or may not include sexual components in it. This depends upon those both partners which are there, that they agree in having the sex or not. But the idea is that you are very focused on at least one person, है ना. लस्ट में ऐसा नहीं है, इसमें मल्टीपल कंपोनेंट्स ड्रिवन है. अदर वेज टू लुक एट द लव इज एन इमोशन, है ना, where we care, and this kind of love without sexual component, where we only showcase the emotion, this we can expect it from friends, siblings, parents, societies, etc. Loving people for only sexual desire fulfilling, इसको हम lust बोलते हैं. तो lust can come anywhere into picture, and this lust is the reason for most of the rapes which are happening in the society as such, है ना. तो लस्ट के बारे में ज्यादा जानने की जरूरत नहीं है, ये पाप है, लीगली एथिकली रॉन्ग, इसको और ज्यादा क्या कंक्लूड करें. बट लव, इमोशन, सेक्स ड्राइव इज रिक्वायर्ड, बट लस्ट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड. सेक्सुअल ड्राइव, romantic love, deep attachment, these three are the things which will make the society to run. Are you getting this? People who are live, any doubts which you have? Apart from that, we also had few other components like envy, है ना, वो जो आप एथिक्स में फिलोसॉफिकल कंटेक्स्ट में पढ़ेंगे, बट ये तीन बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट लगे, सो आई हैव कवर्ड इट. So hope you have liked this particular lecture. Thank you for watching this. Have an awesome day. Please do like this video, share this video, and do subscribe to Ekam IAS Academy channel. Click on the bell icon so that you would be getting continuous notifications. And if you want us to make videos on certain topics important for UPSC, please do drop it in the comment section so that we would be coming up with these particular videos. Thank you for watching this. Have an awesome day. So thanks for joining us even on Sundays. I respect your time. I respect your investment of time. So thank you for watching this. Have an awesome day. Jai Hind.